All right. Hello. We are here with the finale of Symphonic Rain. For real this time. I mean, you think about, yes, last time was kind of a finale too, but this one's the actual finale. We finished off the main part of the game. We started on Forney's route, and I got to pretty much where all the choices ended, like right on the spot, essentially. And so basically where we actually left off is Forney's going to do this amazing thing where she comes to school with us for the first time. So yeah, we're definitely getting in the thick of it now. Not really sure where this is going to go. Considering the other routes we've seen, could go pretty much anywhere, really. But yeah, I made sure to just basically get all the choices. I kind of went through everything leading up to, yeah, pretty much. There's still some school left, but I think there's only like 1 or 2 weeks, so just before Christmas break. Yeah, December 15th, so there's like 1 week left. But yeah, Forney's gonna come to school with us. We had like a bit of a small teaser of getting to actually play with Forney last time, but the song wasn't finished, although it sounded pretty sick, so I'm looking forward to playing the finished song. I'm hoping for some like Freedom Dive-esque shit here. Like the hardest shit in the game. Honestly, it had the potential. I'll say it had the potential to be like the boss song of Symphonic Rain. But we'll see. So Forney's gonna come to school. Chris was a little shocked about this. I was a little shocked too, to be fair. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Especially with the whole can't really talk to Forney in public thing. As I prepared for school at the usual time, Forney seemed a little restless. Hey, should we hurry up? No need for that. At this time, we'll even be a little earlier than usual. Really? Anyway, I'm almost ready. Just wait a second. Oh, and also, it's confirmed that the fairy is real, because we actually got home twice last time to watch Forney put the towel up on the table. Physically move it. This wasn't some hallucination where Chris does it on his way out and just kind of forgets and thinks some like magical musical fairy did it. No, she actually did it. So I think we can drop any notion that she's not real, unless this is some like extra advanced hallucination that I've never heard of. But we can pretty much confirm that she is real to some degree. So I don't know what that's going to imply as we go through this, but I'm looking forward to it. I put on my jacket last and stood at the front door. Forney was already there, so I put her on my shoulder and opened the door. Guess there's no need to say I'm heading out? Why not? Doesn't hurt to say it. See you later. Well, it was always meant for your ears, Forney. Is that so? I thought you were just speaking to yourself. I mean, I thought you were being polite. Oh, come on, that wasn't necessary. I'm kidding, of course I knew that. With a smile that suggested otherwise, Forney turned and said, "See you later," once again to the empty room. I hope that doesn't imply what I think it implies. Everything I'm just saying is a lie, but then that wouldn't explain the towel, so she's real. We can say with certainty that she's real, even if no one else can see her or hear her. This way? Is it this way? Yeah, it's this way. We're headed to the school right now, so you don't need an explanation, right? Also, it's not like you're doing the walking anyway. That's besides the point. It's been so long since I've done this. That's true. Looking at Forney happily taking the city, I remembered that it really had been a while for her. She seemed very pleased to be outdoors. In the first place, she'd never really shown interest in going out, so I'd always assumed that she didn't care for it. Or perhaps she was just excited to see the school for the first time. Are you happy? Yeah, it's been a while. Her wings moved gently, which tickled my ear a bit. Hey, sit still. Oh, sorry. Are you that happy about going to school? All you'll be doing is keeping an eye on me, you know? And no singing. You'll disrupt my practicing. Yes, I heard you the first time. Besides, school may be fun, but right now I'm enjoying being outside. You can just go out whenever you want, you know? You can't fly high, perhaps, but you can get around on foot, I'm sure. Yeah, that might be true, but between this and going out by myself... But, you know... I didn't mean it like that. It's not like I wanted to go out all the time. I feel happy just going out occasionally, like this. Really? Really? Okay, so how would she get outside if the door shut and she's like as small as she is? Does that imply she can teleport outside? Like, can she not just teleport anywhere then? Where does she go when she disappears, and how does she always just come back in the exact spot she left or something? That's what I want to know. Somehow I knew that was a lie. It'd be different if we were talking about going out every day, but Forney only went outside the room a few times each year. She always said it was okay, so I'd never given it much thought until now. Seeing Forney enjoy herself like this, however, made me realize what a stupid assumption that had been. Had I been oblivious to it all this time? Now that I was going to part ways with Forney, I was suddenly paying more attention to these things. If Forney was okay with it, I wanted to pay even more attention to them. Hey Cupcake, how's it going? Continued the conversation. You know, I should have thought of bringing you to school earlier. You probably don't need them, Forney, but you might find some things interesting, like music theory or lessons. Man, I'm okay. That's Tortoise Row. Hmm? Nothing. Look, Miss Cordell's gonna be upset if you don't hurry. Pointing ahead, Forney flapped her wings as if to hurry me. We didn't have much time to chat after that, but one thing stayed in my mind the whole time. Tortoise Roll. I was sure that's what I heard her say. Yeah, what the fuck does that mean? Tortoise Roll. Are we in a simulation? In this timeline? This whole thing, just like the Matrix? That would explain so much if that was the case. Wait. Chris never went to Piova. Chris is still in a coma. This is all a coma-induced hallucination. The entire thing. Everything. He never went to school. He never spent 3 years at music school with Torta, who pretended to be her dead sister or anything like that. This is all a hallucination. He's still in the hospital. And he's probably deaf. He probably actually can't hear. That's going to be the tragic ending from this. I'm calling it now. I was right about the last two. Calling it now. Stressed but good, been busy. How about me? I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. If I'm going to be frank and honest, it's like boring. But not really. It's weird to describe. It's like I enjoy my life as it is, but I wish it wasn't so boring. And then I'm also know that it's like I can't do anything about it. You know, sometimes you give everything your all, and you just it still doesn't go your way, but you know you tried your best and you can't do anything more. It's like that. And maybe that sounds a bit depressing. That's kind of not what I was going for, but it's like it can't be helped. That's how I've been feeling the last few days. Like that. Not hopeless or useless, but just, well, that's the way things are. And there's not really anything else you can do. It's one of those kind of weeks, I guess. But otherwise fine, honestly. Hopefully that's not like weirdly downer, but now that I think about it. Been working on getting a guinea pig, and then I'm working on school, and yeah, it's just like, you know, things are just going, right? Guinea pig sounds kind of cool, though. I knew someone had a weasel once, but I've never had any friends who had guinea pigs. I kind of wanted one as a kid, but wasn't really, like, super into animals like that. As a kid, I only ever had fish, but I thought guinea pigs were neat. Seemed like a long time ago, but actually it might have been just before I came to the city. It was when I'd asked Reed to come with me to the music school that all three of us went at the same time. Reed had already realized that music wasn't her thing, and she was focused on other pursuits while remaining in school. She did things that she liked, such as cooking, cleaning, and laundry. That's why her reply was similar to Forney's. That's Tortoise Roll. I didn't know at the time why we were divided up that way. Okay, you know what? We're gonna go back to the other theory I had like a long time ago. Forney is Ari, the real Ari, somehow like reincarnated or something because she's dead. Or she had like, I don't know, some sort of psychic connection with Chris during her coma. Maybe that's why Forney disappears and doesn't come back at the end of the school year, because Ari dies. The timing seems a little more than a coincidence, if you ask me. Oh, you got the cage and everything, and going out Saturday to get them? Well, that sounds exciting. How many are you getting? Like, one? Or a couple? The plural implies more than one, but that might just be me. Even now I had no idea. Did Forney feel the same way Ari did when she said that? I could figure out the reason. I'd probably understand Forney and Ari a lot better. Any for your thoughts? Noticing my gaze, Forney turned to me and spoke gently. That gesture reminded me of Arietta for some reason. She's totally Arietta. Calling it now. No, it's nothing. I've been right about all these predictions before, like the ones I actually put any thought into and like seriously try and make a guess. Not like the meme predictions, but the good ones. Good morning. You're a little late today. Really? But just a little bit though. I probably walked too carefully so that Forney wouldn't fall off my shoulder. Wait, doesn't class start 10:30 though? It's only 10:20. How the fuck is he late? Does she just mean like late compared to the usual time he gets here? Coming at like quarter after or 10 after? Or perhaps I've been too focused on our conversation. It's because he kept stopping to think about things. Yeah, I know. I placed Forney on top of my desk in the classroom. Odd. Anyway, let's begin. Same song as always, yes? About that, I'd like to practice a new song if that's okay. A new song? I don't mind. I assume it's for the graduation recital? Yes, the vocal part has also been prepared. Chris, what are you... I don't have a partner yet, and that was when I came up with this song, which I'm really into right now. That sounded like fun. Well, I don't mind if you practice something you like, but it's about time you found a partner. I know, but if the time comes, then please help me out. Huh. The thing I mentioned. That's fine. Okay, here's the score. Handed Miss Cordell a clean copy of the score that I finished the day before. I look forward to hearing your guidance. The lyrics are only half finished. They'll be done. Okay, but they don't sound like your usual lyrics, Chris. Is that so? I don't mean that in a bad way. Now then, let's hear it. Miss Cordell looked at the score, seemingly amused. Okay. Yo, we actually playing? Oh, damn. I'm looking forward to play the full song here. But, I mean, the lyrics aren't done, so that's understandable. It's still a little rough, but it's a good song. Thank you. Perhaps your emotions are the cause, but it's completely changed, and in a very short time. As a Fortell instructor, nothing could be more interesting to me. What has changed? Your sound, Chris. I said it's still a little rough, yes? The foundation of practice is repetition. Let's all use our time today to focus on this song. Okay. Even Miss Cordell approved. I turned to Forney to convey this, but she had a worried look on her face. I don't know if she understood, but I gave a look that said, it's all good, and returned to the Fortell. After the morning lesson, I brought Forney with me to the cafeteria. I was eating pasta and Forney was looking at me with displeasure. What? Why that song? What do you mean, why? You were happily singing along at the end, weren't you? As I spoke, I kept one eye on our surroundings in case Torta came along. Zeno wouldn't come to school before his afternoon lesson, so I wasn't worried about him. But that's my song, isn't it? That's right. And who's going to sing it? I hadn't thought about that. Chris? Oh, I wouldn't let anyone else sing it. That goes without saying. Sure? If you say so. I'm sorry, I didn't think it through. I just want to let Miss Cordell hear the song. That's a relief. Then why? What's up? Why are you practicing a song you won't play for the graduation recital? Like I said, I wanted Miss Cordell to hear it. Before Forney could object, we heard a voice from behind us. Huh? Did you say something? No, not at all. Morning, Torta. Morning. And how about the partner situation? So-so. I'm not out of options yet. I see. Well, that's good. Though if you can't find anyone, I'll practice with you. Sure, if it came to that. Those words left my lips, but my heart wasn't in them. I probably wouldn't pair up with Torta. Roll. Once again, I recalled that word. It was true that until now my time in school had been spent with Torta. Much more than I'd spend with my male friend Asino. That's why we were too close. That distance had to be increased. But Natalie's just over a week away, you know. I'll practice all of today and tomorrow. Uh-huh. I'll believe what you say for now. Thanks. I said goodbye to Torta in the cafeteria. Today was Thursday and she had some errands, it seemed. I turned to Forney, whom I've ignored up until then. Right, let's go to the practice rooms. Well, wait a second. Practice rooms? By yourself? You're here, Forney. Hello? Just kidding. Well, let's have a little change of scenery. Who's over there? I've mentioned it before, I think. That's where Lisa is. She probably wasn't there today, which was something I'd taken into account. Val had said that she could practice on Thursday, so I decided to go meet her tomorrow. I returned Forney to my shoulder and walked out into the hallway when I had an unexpected voice. Chris, where are you going? Casino. Nowhere in particular. Oh, come on. Are you serious? What are you... Was something happening today? I couldn't think of anything, but it didn't seem like Asino was joking around either. Was something happening today? So this is Asino. He looks a little earnest, I have to say. I didn't notice it during Miss Cordell's class, but observing Forney up close, I saw clearly how intrigued she was by everything. Wow, you have absolutely no idea, do you? That's just like you, Chris. So, what is it? It was on the bulletin board last week, remember? In the hallway in front of us was the bulletin board, where notices for the various courses were posted. Oh, is this that guy's lesson? Lisei's father? I'd always walk right by it, but because Asino or Torta would just tell me the news anyway, I'd never been severely inconvenienced before. Of course, that system wasn't foolproof, but habits were hard to break. Sorry, I haven't looked. Chris, I know you're not interested in these things. I'll pay more attention next time. This all too familiar exchange, even Asino couldn't help but smile. Whatever. Anyway, it's not something you'd find interesting. Don't be so pompous. Shoot, we don't have much time. I'll get right to it. There's a special lecture being held in Lecture Room B. Seems to be an annual lecture for third-year Fortel students only. Seems. And why now all this times? I know. But perhaps they had some reason to schedule it now. And the speaker for this lecture is Old Grave of the House of Cicerini. Grave? I said you wouldn't be interested, right? But I didn't say it'd be irrelevant. Grave is foremost among the famous Fortel players. You must have some kind of idea what this lecture means now, don't you? Yeah, more or less. If one were to gain the favor of Old Grave, then one's prospects would instantly improve. Something like that wouldn't be out of the question. Although it really didn't interest me either way. Doesn't sound like you've forgotten it entirely. Well, you are ordering me to attend this Are you ordering me to attend this lecture? I won't force you to. In that case, I think I'll pass. It said that we were going to the old music rooms, and I knew Forney would be bored if the lecture wasn't focused on performance. Sure, well, I expected that answer anyway. Asino dropped the issue right away. What will you do? Are you heading there after all? Yeah. I guess it wasn't a lecture I could have recommended to you anyway. What does that mean? Sorry, I'll explain some other time. Asino pointed at the clock indicating he had to go. Thanks for letting me know. Hey, I said I expected it, didn't I? Besides, you have things you should be doing. I'd have thought that you would too. Anyway, keep it up. Yeah, see you around. Asino walked quickly toward the first hall. We watched him go, then set out across campus in the direction of the old wing. Oh, we're going over here to practice, are we? This place feels different somehow. That's because it's hardly used now. We took a narrow path in the thickly grown green forest and finally arrived at our destination. I'd only come here a couple of times, but I actually liked the atmosphere. I tried listening out for some sign of Lisei, but there was nothing aside from the sound of rain. Forney and I would have the whole place to ourselves today, it seemed. Okay, let's go. As expected, there was no one here. Guess Lisei isn't here today. So what do? We didn't make any promises, so there's nothing to be done about it. You could ask someone else. It's past noon. It's gonna be hard to do that. What? If you really wanted to, Chris, surely it'd be okay. Well, we came all this way to be here. How about performing together? Do you really like that song that much? Yeah, both the song and the lyrics. Who cares about the lyrics? I do. That's how much I like the song. I'll get ready, and then let's start. Is it okay? I don't think anyone's coming here, so we'll be okay. No, I mean, you should be practicing. Forney's voice was trembling. She sounded really worried. Even so, when I played a few notes on the Fortel, her wings and ears twitched in response. All right, here we go. Okay. Playing? Oh. One of these times. That time we were satisfied with our progress. It was getting dark outside. The long abandoned trees that circled the building softened the impact of the rain hitting the windows. They helped us concentrate on the music, even though the building wasn't properly soundproofed. I guess that's enough for today. See, you didn't practice at all. Even if I won't perform the song, it still counts as practice. Besides, is my Fortel playing that bad? No, but you can't spend all your time on this, is what I'm saying. There's still time. Compared to the time I had left with Forney, it seemed like an eternity. Of course, in terms of physical time, I'd be with Forney until the graduation ceremony, which was some time away. But within that time, I'd only be able to put Forney first until preparations for the graduation recital got underway. That's why I want things to be like this, if just for a little while longer. I did not mean to say that out loud. I did not mean for Forney to hear that. Chris. Sorry, I forget I said that. There's nothing to be done. Forney spoke gently as if she were indulging me. If I'm not watching you, you won't practice tomorrow either, right? Probably. There's absolutely nothing to be done. I'll be bringing Forney to school tomorrow too, I guess. And when I can't find a partner tomorrow, she'll say the same thing. There's nothing to be done, so let's do our ensemble. Well, our positions had somehow been reversed all of a sudden, but it was so enjoyable. There's nothing to be done about it. Yes, there was nothing to be done. It could not be helped, one could say. Let's go. I said hold on a sec. I was all prepared, waiting by the front door for Forney. Forney had been staring out the window, unaware that I had been ready to leave in such a short time. She slid across the floor as fast as she could and scared the rest of the way. I scooped her up and headed outside. The morning air felt great, and the misty rain wasn't unpleasant. Cold wasn't piercing, and once you got used to the rain, the city could actually be nice to live in. So what does everything smell like for Chris? Does Chris just, have the constant smell of rain? Does he taste the rain? How far does this rain hallucination go? Otherwise, the nobility wouldn't have come to like this place. Aren't you full of energy today? Aren't you full of energy today? Are you finally going to get down to practice? Who knows? If I find someone to practice with, maybe. But if not, how about us? Don't say such things before looking. Forney sounded angry, but she was enjoying it. Not counting the city, the school was certainly the first place that Forney had seen 2 days in a row. Forney was having so much fun, it looked like she'd forgotten why she was there in the first place. I was glad too, because things were easier that way. Only we could perform an ensemble of that song again, just like yesterday. What's with the grin? Huh? What grin? Like when you're reading a letter from Marie. I wasn't grinning. I'm watching you all the time, so I can't be wrong. She sounded confident, and without any concern for what I had to say, she returned to being captivated by the scenery. She seemed so happy. If only I brought her out more often. Marie. Also about Torta. In the 3 years of living alone in the city, probably wasn't enough room in my mind. I was a pathetic human being for not noticing earlier. As if to set things right, I was determined to make the most of our time. What an improvement! I can't believe you only started practicing yesterday. I've been practicing at home as well. You must have a lot of spare time on your hands. That's not the reason. Playing this song is what I find most enjoyable now. Enjoyment is a good thing, but don't forget your task. In any case, I won't worry about the song or your foretell playing. Okay. Chris, you're looking a little well. Huh? It was a compliment. Try looking more pleased. I don't see how looking a little well can be taken as a compliment. Suit yourself. I've set the deadline for next Friday. If you haven't found a partner by then, that is. Got it. I'll be counting on you. Well, someone sounds confident. No, that's not what I meant. I said that because I really was counting on Miss Cordell, but she'd taken it the wrong way, apparently. Correcting her would have just led to more trouble, so I remained silent. Continue practicing until then as usual. Don't be late next week. Got it. I packed up my foretell, then placed Forney on my shoulder. I wasn't able to talk to Forney during practice, but I was playing her song, and stage she'd sung along happily too. Thanks for waiting. No problem. I whispered so that Miss Cordell wouldn't hear, but Forney's answer was full of gusto. Tomorrow is Saturday. I wonder if we'll spend the whole day on ensembles for the song. Last Saturday, we'd finished the lyrics in one day, and if we finished the song tomorrow, wouldn't everything be done? I couldn't quite imagine what happened after that. But in any case, time passed honorably. Whether this path I'd chosen was the best one, no one could know. In the distant future, only when I had the capacity to reflect on the past, I'd know, for the first time, if I'd been correct today. I didn't think that my future self would have any regrets. He's gonna regret it when he finds out that the fairy isn't real, and none of this is real, and he's in a simulation. I finished my meal with Torta, then headed to the practice rooms. Is it foul today? Yes. She said she's always in the last practice room down this hallway. Even if it wasn't open, she'd find the next closest one, so it shouldn't be hard to find her. It'd be great if you did some real practicing today. I know, right? At a leisurely pace, I walked down the hallway, and then the door to the intended practice room was open. I found the expected occupant inside. Oh, it's you, Chris. Good afternoon. Are you going to practice here? Yes, well, I thought of going over there, but I guess you're done for the day? Huh? You don't mean with me? It's been some time, but I thought we could... I'm sorry, the only days when I can practice in the afternoon are Tuesday and Thursday. Didn't I tell you? Now that you mention it, yes, I think you did. Chris, you sneaky... But although today's not possible, I'm okay with tomorrow or the day after if you're free. That's okay. There's no need to come in on the weekend. I see. Then what about Tuesday? That's not for a while, so... Right. In that case, I'll wait for you to decide. Though there isn't much time left. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's fine. I'll see you around then. Okay. Sorry if I said anything strange. Please, don't worry about it. With that, Fal left. Unseen to Fal, Forney pulled my ear even before the former had disappeared from sight. Hey, Chris, what are you playing at? She has something to attend to today, apparently. Did you forget something so important? More or less. Then you could have agreed to practice today or tomorrow, right? It's not like I've chosen her yet, so wasting the weekend like that would be, you know... That's not something you're in a position to say. What's worse, she was the one who offered, and you... She'll assume that you're not interested, so she won't make that same offer again, you know? But it wouldn't be right to practice the whole weekend and then realize it wouldn't work out, right? Well, what are you gonna do? Nothing to be done about today, so how about ensemble? Happened to see the empty practice rooms earlier. What's wrong? Where's your sense of urgency? I got it. Let's just find a practice room first. First and second year students were having lectures, so the hallways were empty. That didn't mean there were third year students practicing at this time. I didn't want anyone to see me apologizing to my shoulder. With one ear pulled, I entered an empty practice room. Okay, big long shot theory. What if everyone can see Forney and hear Forney, but for whatever reason, they just completely ignore her and like pretend she doesn't exist? I could totally see them pulling this shit after what they tried to pull with the ending of the last route. Okay, go ahead. First, are you serious about looking for a partner? Not really. What? Do you remember what I said to Miss Cordell? If the time comes? Are you serious about that? Yes. Recently, that's all I've been thinking about. Torta, I couldn't pair up with her. That was my first thought. Why not? Because of Ari. If Torta and I were partners, Ari would get worried. But didn't she say in her letter that she'd feel more comfortable if you paired up with Torta? Still, she and I are too close. Torta had become a given. More so than Ari, even. I think failing your graduation recital and having to stay another year would be worse, but I'll try not to. Then what about Fal, or Lise? Fal is... You saw it earlier. She's too good of a person. Too good for me. And as for Lise, I'm scared of getting too involved. What do you mean, scared? She's like a young Ari. For that very reason, she shouldn't be with me. Also, she's a first year, so she doesn't need to pair up. Why are you avoiding other people? Because I'd be happy with Ari. Then why aren't you serious about looking? That way you'll... You already heard why. I don't want to get too involved with others. Is this the route where... Is this the true ending? Where Chris actually made smart, reasonable decisions? I mean, the real decision would be to, you know, just pair up with someone and not think with your dick. But... failing that, this seems like the next best choice. Good job, Chris. You actually made a smart decision today. Didn't suffer, like, major brain damage from that accident after all. And so you pick me? No, you're a separate issue, Forney. If I'm undecided by next Friday, Miss Cordell will introduce someone. That means I'm free to use my time however I want to until then. That's why I wanted to perform ensembles with you during that time, that's all. Why'd you say that all of a sudden? I've said so much already, might as well be completely honest. I had a dream about losing someone. Someone important. In the dream, that person was walking away from me, so I tried to say their name, but it just wouldn't come out. It was just a dream, but soon after I saw you, Forney, and I put the two together. I went on. What are you going to do after I graduate, Forney? No questions. We're talking about you, Chris. Yes, we are talking about me, but you and I are not unrelated, unlike other people. I'll stay here, in the city. What does that mean? No one else knows you exist, Forney. Are you going to stay in that room by yourself?
That's the plan. Everyone always gets students from the school, so someone else on the same wavelength as me is bound to appear.
Yeah, there may be someone like that.
And yet,
If I said come with me, what would you do?
no way. I couldn't.
Thought that might be the case. Perhaps that dream did foreshadow my parting ways with Forney after all. Something my unconscious mind had intuited and presented to me as a dream. But was that all there was to it? If it's not possible, then I want to make the most of the time we have now. I'll finish the song and perform it. That'll be an important memory.
I see.
The short answer was all Forney had to say, but I felt that it contained acceptance, kindness, and even love. Thank you. I thanked her, meaningfully, and began setting up my fortel. There was barely a week left, and I was already going to think of Forney that whole time. I'm sure Arietta would understand too. Not a lover, nor a friend. Something just like family might be the best description. What was best for Forney? That is, performing ensembles together, and nothing more. But
Well then, let's begin. You don't have much time left, and you want to finish this, right?
I was glad to just hear Forney sound so happy saying that. Man, forget fucking the fairy. When do we play the goddamn song?
Okay, let's stop there.
Forney sounded vibrant. Felt I'd been playing the Fortel non-stop since yesterday. No, I'll make that from the middle of last week. The fatigue was building up, but I didn't mind. Probably because I was enjoying music for the first time in a long time. Doing an ensemble with Forney was truly amazing. Nice work. You don't get tired, do you, Forney?
Well, no. Anyway, shouldn't it be here about now?
Hadn't noticed, but it was about the time when Arie's letter usually arrived. Ah, you're right. After waking up at 10 this morning, I'd only taken one break, and that was for lunch. But the song was still incomplete. That was because Forney's lyrics weren't finished yet. However, I found that a welcome development. The whole thing were finished, and this shared time would end too. That's why I didn't ask Forney about that, and simply let time pass. I'll go get it. I took Arie's letter from the mailbox and returned to the room. Forney seemed different somehow, and looked glumly in this direction. What's the matter?
Nothing. I was just wondering what expression you'd make as you read the letter, Chris.
Even though you're always watching.
Quick, read it, and let's return to the ensemble.
Forney tried to disguise it, but she sounded a little displeased. I know, just hold on a second. I didn't want to pursue that, so I decided to finish the letter quickly. Dear Chris, how's the rain there? I suppose you must be used to it by now, but sometimes I worry. If it were me, I'd probably sink into depression. Hope that doesn't happen to you, Chris. I'm sorry I keep bringing up the graduation recital in these letters, but it really is the most important thing right now, so I hope you'll understand. About your partner, what's going on? Torta was worried that hasn't been decided yet. I guess that makes sense as a sentence. Torta keeps asking questions in her letters, but you're probably doing your best, Chris. Whatever the case may be, let Torta know, okay? And if you don't find anyone, you can always rely on Torta, okay? I can't help you in this regard, but Torta will stand in my place. Chris, you probably think that's not right for me to say this. But we are twins, and somehow that gives us insight into each other's feelings. You ask, Chris, Torta will definitely support you. When a time comes, don't hesitate. All you need to do is ask. But just because I write this doesn't mean that you absolutely have to pair up with Torta. Chris, do what you think is right. No matter who, no matter what the result may be, I will accept it, as long as you believe that's the right thing to do. I'm sorry for going on so long about nothing. But soon we'll meet again and talk in person, won't we? And so let's continue this at your place, during Natalie. I look forward to seeing you again after a year. Love, Arietta. Oh, that's another fake letter from Torta, trying to steal Chris away. Can't believe she did that. Used her dying sister, or her sister's death, as leverage to steal Chris away from her. Like, well, I guess she's dead now, so I mean, why don't you and I hook up? And Chris is just like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that.
What did Arie say?
Much the same as last time. If I don't find anyone else, that's okay. Just ask Torta.
And is that what you intend to do?
No, as I've told you, that won't happen. I'm relying totally on Miss Cordell.
So you'll start practicing from tomorrow?
No, I'll keep the act up until the last lesson before Natalie, and then I'll ask.
Kinda real close, huh?
So let's perform our ensemble in the practice rooms tomorrow, okay?
It'll be the last time,
right? If we finish it.
Upon hearing my answer, Forney paused a while and thought. Then, as if she reconsidered it instantly, she said, about the lyrics. Was she going to say she'd finished them? They'll need a little more time. I'm not used to writing lyrics, you see. Oh, really? That's okay. Anyway, my partner-to-be will probably be busy during Natalie, so I'm guessing practice will only begin after that. Now that you mention it, that's very likely. Then they'll be done by Natalie. Mm-hmm. It can be done in one day, such as New Year's or some other rest day. This is not like you at all, Chris. Normally you'd be incredibly resistant, but recently you've become so proactive. Hey, I've had some emotional changes, you know. I'm happy to hear it, so it's all good. That's right. Well, shall we perform for a while more? After you reply to Arie's letter. Of course, I won't forget that. Arietta was a different matter altogether, unrelated to Forney. Truly liked her, and there was no change in how I felt about her. That's why I intend to write a proper reply. I'd never neglect her letters. I just had to write down exactly how I felt. While I was writing my letter, Forney was all smiles for some reason, in stark contrast to her earlier mood. Was it because we were about to have our ensemble? Was it because we'd have our ensemble tomorrow as well? In any case, thanks to that smile, I was certain that I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was that dream again. Oh shit, a dream sequence 2.0. Someone was sending those unearthly thoughts to me. Forget. But don't forget. Don't remember. But remember. This isn't a dream. This is someone from outside the simulation trying to talk to Chris. Today's dream had been a little different from the ones I've had so far. Forney is an alien from outer space. She abducted Chris and put him in a simulation, and are doing experiments on him. Today's dream had been a little different from the ones I've had so far. Those contradicting cries still echoed in my head. I was still confused. Amid the confusion, I suddenly opened my eyes. Ah! At the same time, Forney, who was right in front of my face, yelled in surprise. I realized I was almost halfway out of bed. That was why Forney, who had been by my pillow, had lost her balance. Sorry about that, Forney. You woke up so suddenly, that's why I almost fell off. Are you okay? Yeah, just a little surprised. What else? Did you see how I slept? Uh-huh. Forney responded nonchalantly. There's nothing else I could ask, so I gave up on sleep and got out of bed. What are we doing today? School, ensembles, does that sound right? Right, that's what I thought. Didn't we decide yesterday to do that until Friday? We did, but I just felt like asking. You still think it's wrong? No, I think it's okay. Then, why did she look so forlorn? Just for an instant. Don't forget. Words crossed my mind. Is that Forney's voice? I didn't think so, but I also thought it might be. As all this went through my mind, the memory of the dream grew more distant. Perhaps I should write the words down on paper. Those contradictory thoughts didn't seem to be mutually exclusive, but rather, it sounded like they could all be true. If it was about Forney, then Don't Forget made sense to me. Once I left the city, Forney would be all alone. Then what would remember me? If I were correct, then it would mean that I had forgotten something. No, it was bizarre to think that a mere dream could hold such meaning. On the other hand, I couldn't believe that my unconscious mind had created the whole thing. Then, nothing. Are you ready? Ready when you are. As if hurrying to me, Forney glided through the air from the desk to the front door. I placed my letter to Arie that I wrote yesterday in my bag. Then, on a whim, I opened the desk drawer. What are you doing? I heard Forney's voice at the front door. Wait just one moment. I took out one sheet of paper from the writing set that Arie gave me and wrote down what happened in my dream. I only recalled fragments at this point. I want to record those haunting words. Don't forget. Remember. Forney was waiting at the front door, but I was about to put away the dream writings and rush out, when I saw an unknown sheet of folded paper next to a stack of Arie's letters. I had no memory of placing it there, and when I unfolded it, it contained what looked like a poem, in messy or rather poor handwriting. Right away I knew those were the lyrics to Forney's song. I had no idea how she wrote those words, being so small, but they were definitely Forney's. Those lyrics, they were complete. Forney said yesterday she hadn't finished writing the lyrics. Either she'd written them yesterday or... For fuck's sake, Chris! What the fuck is that? The fuck? That felt so out of left field, the hell? Sorry, be right there. I won't ask any questions. Below the lyrics was the word fine, meaning the end. What on earth were you doing? As we walked, Forney asked me that in a puzzled tone. Nothing. Anyway, about the lyrics. As long as they're done by Saturday, right? You said yesterday no one would practice on Natalie, surely. Yeah, right. It might be better to put it all together before that. Ari will be here on Natalie, so we might not have time. That's fine. Better get cracking then. Did Phony want to put off the song's completion too? When that day came, all this time would turn into memories, which is a little frightening. Phony felt the same way. Was it okay to let it all come to an end? Look, your last thought again. Bad habit. Phony smiled, though I didn't know what she was found so amusing. When we were alone at last in the practice room, I took out the unfinished score. Only half of the lyrics had been finished, so I hadn't practiced beyond that point. Phony would only sing the lyrics she had verbally conveyed to me. I took some small joy in that. It's still only half finished, but let's give it a go. Okay. Play the song. Playing the song! Fuck yeah. So I wonder if it's improved at all since the last time I played it, because it seemed a little... Well, I mean, it wasn't finished for sure, so they might have added stuff? This is about where the song like just ended abruptly. Fucking drop the hype. Yeah, but it's gonna end again. See, look at this. It gets right to the good part and it just stops because it's not finished yet. And that's why I want to finish the damn song. I'm looking forward to that moment. Phony stopped singing, looking a little dissatisfied. Was something off? No, I just felt like singing it all the way to the end. I see. Well, that's a good sign. You played the Fortell really well, Chris. Thanks. Performer 2 was aware of that. Hey, aren't you going to return to compliment? But that's a given, isn't it? Even so, it wouldn't kill you to say it. We're great, really. Don't bother saying it now. Make up your mind. Really meant it, but Phony looked away in embarrassment. You shouldn't have said it from the beginning. Anyway, we got plenty of time. More! Got it. If we have extra time, shall we try another song? We don't have that much time. Music is the enjoyment of sound. I've missed those words. Ah, yes, they are famous words. The music school that I attended as a kid, or rather, up until I came here, there was a teacher who said those words. My favorite ship is everyone going to therapy. Is that like the... Yeah, but what if like they go to therapy, and then it just turns out that they all just hook up, or try to hook up with the therapist, and just like all the therapy goes to waste now. Everyone gets sent to the same therapist, and they all just try and like, there's a fucking love pentagon between everyone and the therapist. Well, I'm sure similar phrases exist everywhere. No doubt. In that case, let's enjoy ourselves. I returned to my Fortell and caught Phony's gaze. Phony was sitting on top of my Fortell, in front of me, so our eyes met naturally, without any conscious effort. Such closeness wouldn't otherwise have made me blush, but we were facing each other through the music, which made everything else seem trivial. That truly was a time of joy, of happiness. Finish the goddamn song! Oh, this song's great. I want to play more of it. But it's not done. I'm gonna need to go with therapy because I'm not getting my fucking song that I can to play. Hey, Chris. I was eating in the cafeteria as always when Torta approached me nonchalantly. It was really minor, but something was off. I notice these small things sometimes, perhaps because we'd spent so much time together. You seem to be spending a lot of time in practice rooms lately. Have you decided on a partner? That was a nice segue, I had to admit. Ah, so that's what it is. Seated on the table, Phony quietly watched the scene unfold. Her gaze moved back and forth between Torta's face and mine, before landing on mine with some concern in her eyes. Smiling, I answered Torta. No, I haven't, but I have someone in mind, so it's all good. I see. Well, that's great. So there's no need to worry. Yeah, there's no need. Torta nodded, seemingly convinced, and finished her half-eaten sandwich in one mouthful. What's up? Nothing. Don't speak with your mouth full. You asked a question. I can wait. Her face turned red. Perhaps she was eating too fast. Torta? Torta hurriedly drank from her cup and managed to clear her throat. Oh my god, what's she doing? Why? No. Hey, I wasn't paying much attention, but the drink was Torta's favorite. Chicoclada Scalda. How did she gulp down that thick beverage? Just thinking about it gave me heartburn. Thick and scalding hot. I have some errands to run today, so I have to rush home now. I see. Is today Tuesday? Yes it is. Yeah, I guess it is Tuesday, isn't it? Take care. What is there to take care of? I don't know, dangerous half-eaten sandwiches that might choke you? Don't be annoying. Anyway, I'm off. See you. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Torta exited the cafeteria in a bit of a rush. Now I could talk to Forney. I had to speak softly, but luckily I could speak to her up close, so I didn't mind at all. Why didn't you tell her about Miss Cordell's partner introduction? Because if I did, she'd definitely complain about it. Why didn't she just pair up with me instead? Something like that? She wouldn't be so direct, but I suspect it'd lead to the start of joint practice. A great idea if you ask me. But I promised to perform an ensemble with you today, Forney, didn't I? Do you think if, like, Chris went to therapy, he would be there for, like, thinking everyone looks like a Ree? Like, you'd taken the whole, all I see in this person is a Ree to, like, a literal level. Like, his hallucinations just go completely off the rails, and everyone just literally looks like a Ree. I wouldn't complain if you broke your promise in this specific situation. Even so, I want to keep this promise. Nothing to be done. As Forney flapped her wings, she sounded upset. Okay, let's go to the practice rooms. Sure. I put Forney on my shoulder and headed to the practice rooms for our ensemble, which had become a daily routine lately. The rest of the day went by. Minute by minute, the day of our promise drew near. How long could this last? And what would I do once it's over? I still couldn't imagine what would happen. I only knew that I had to speak to Forney one more time. Will you come with me? I asked that question, and Forney would say yes, if only such a day would come. It was a starless night, but I made a wish anyway, thinking of the tiny fairy on my shoulder, chatting happily about what happened today. Maybe we'll perform it on Natalie? Are you really okay with not going to school today? Do I have to keep repeating myself? Today's the day Miss Cordell introduces your partner to you, so there's no reason for me to go. Okay, that's a shame. And why would you think that, Chris? Well, because we've spent so much time together lately. Anyway, you can come by whenever you're free, as long as you're quiet, like you are during Miss Cordell's lessons. It should be fine. In that case, I'll hitch a ride with you sometime. Sure, just say the word. Okay, have a nice day. See you later. So I guess we're partnering with Torta after all, if the other timelines are anything to go by. It'd been a while since I'd walked to school myself. Forney weighed nothing, so it wasn't like my shoulder felt lighter or anything. But the tickling sensation around my neck, the constant humming at my ear, still yesterday I found them a little annoying, but I really missed them now, and even felt a little sad they'd be gone from my life. When I went out to buy things or pick up the mail, it didn't matter. I wanted to be with Forney as much as possible in the time we had left. Good morning. I opened the door to the classroom door and went in. Miss Cordell hadn't come in yet, apparently. Whatever happened today, I ought to be prepared. I removed my Fortel from its case and put it in its usual place. The way I imagined it, my partner-to-be would either come in with Miss Cordell or be called in after a short introduction, like a transfer student. I wondered about this person with whom I'd have to spend quite some time. To avoid trouble, I'd have preferred someone who didn't talk much, but there's no way I could have set conditions like that. I was depending entirely on Miss Cordell, so whatever the result, I had no regrets. And before Miss Cordell just presents Forney, refuses to elaborate, leaves. That was the result of putting my time with Forney first. Morning, Chris. Good morning. Miss Cordell entered the classroom alone. Transfer student style, I guess. Now then, this is the last lesson of the year. Yes. And it doesn't seem like you need my assistance. Huh? You've been practicing a lot lately. I'm relieved. You sounded happy almost. I had no idea what she was getting at. What is this about? Hmm? Oh, I just heard the reports you've been practicing every day with a very skilled singer. Holy shit! There it is! reports, you say? I have my own ways of showing concern for students under my care. That's what I've heard. Am I mistaken? No. You've been practicing, but you haven't made the decision yet? What is she talking about? The only person I've been practicing with was Forney. Who told you all of this? That is irrelevant. I'd like an answer to my question. This is a simulation. This is all fake. No way this is real. That's the answer here. That would explain so much stuff. That would explain the lack of telephones. That would explain, like, the weird hints at magic. That would explain why there can be rain for him and no one else. Besides the whole hallucination answer, it's a simulation. He's in a coma. It's a simulation or dream. But what? If you intend to pair up with this person, you should do so. Fast. Yeah, I know, but when did you hear about all this? 3 days ago. Does that matter? Which meant I can only think of my ensembles with Forney. The song you've been practicing, it's for that purpose, isn't it? Booster Course Pass has come out. Yeah, apparently the update's out already and people can, like, see the cups and stuff. I'm guessing maybe it'll, like, launch at midnight or something? I'm really looking forward to playing it. Did you see someone found... I'll actually, I can give you a link to it. Someone found an image of what I'm presuming is the next booster course pack. Like there was a new banner that they found that has like other tracks on it. Oops, I guess I can't copy. I'll have to copy the link. But yeah, there you go. You want to take a look at that. But basically, it just looks like the other banner, but there's like tracks on it that otherwise haven't been announced yet. There's a possibility it's fake, but it looks pretty well done. But then again, we've had some pretty well done fakes in the past, but there's like 3DS Rainbow Road on there. Someone apparently found some sort of like Super Nintendo Mario circuit. Koopa Cape is on there, which would be absolutely amazing if that got in the game. That's a really good Wii track. Apparently Sunset Wilds was on there, but I'm not seeing where they saw that. I would need like a labeled version because I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. I don't see anything that would even look remotely like Sunset Wilds that you can see clearly. Just deep fried. Wait, what? Oh, maybe because like, I mean, I took it from Twitter and then I pasted it into Discord. Oh, did I paste the, oh, I know what happened. I pasted the preview version, not the original. That's probably what it is. Well, I guess it's not that much bigger. I mean, it's not like a super high-res image to begin with. To be fair. Yeah, no, it's the right one. Let me try this actually. Let me try getting rid of this. Maybe this would work better. I don't think it will make a difference. Oh, it made it a little bigger. Not much bigger, but I mean, this is like as big as you're gonna get. I don't know where they found this. So that's why I'm thinking it's probably fake. But, I mean, it looks well done for a fake. I'm not seeing anything, like, crazy on here. I don't even know where they saw Mario Rainbow Road. I think it's, like, the picture that's, like, just below Peach's cart, if anything, on the screenshot. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm not really sure people are looking either. There's like the obvious ones probably like I'll just actually, can I put it in here easily enough? That's not gonna work. Fuck. It clearly does not want this pasted in here unless I copy image and then do this. Dragging things into OBS I wish was better. Can I like paste in an image? Oh, you know what? We can just do a web page. Here, I'll put it up so everyone can see. I don't do this often, so I'm not good at it. Where is browser? That's what we want. Let us do this. There we go. Okay, so this is the image I found. So like, I'm thinking, I get your mouse isn't gonna really. If I interact with it, would that work?
I don't think you're going to see the most, but basically, like, I make this bigger, like right here at the center, like where Peach's card is, that's where it looks like Rainbow Road. Like it kind of looks like the one of the planetoids. I don't remember like all the little details of 3DS Rainbow Road, but I would agree that it looks like that. I have no idea. Like up here beside the mushroom, that's definitely Koopa Cape, because you can see like the water and then the mushrooms beside it. I thought it might be Mushroom Gorge at first, but Mushroom Gorge is already in the game, so obviously can't be that. There's like one way back to the right of Luigi's head, like bright yellow. That's clearly a Super Nintendo track. So I'm guessing that's why the person says probably Mario Circuit. But I mean, it could be literally any of a number of Super Nintendo tracks. This one up that's right diagonal straight above it, that white one, probably gonna be Vanilla Dome, which was kind of, or Vanilla Lake, which was kind of confirmed because there's a billboard on one of the tracks in the first pack that has Vanilla Lake on it as like an advertisement, and they always put like the tracks as advertisements. If there are advertisements, that means they're in the game somewhere. So that was probably a thing. I'm not sure what the one above the Rainbow Road picture is. That kind of looks like Coconut Mall, which is a problem because that's already in it. That would like prove it's fake. I don't know where they saw Sunset Wilds, to be honest. I have no idea. Like maybe this like darker one that's like down by the Super Nintendo one, but considering Sunset Wilds is from GBA, it could be literally anything, because they would have to like completely reimagine that track. Looks like the 3DS Ice Rosalina level. That could be it too, actually. Yeah, it kind of looks like the icebergs, right? Or you know what else it could be? It could be what was that N64 ice track? Not the one in the snowfields, but the one that was on Wii with all the penguins. Was that Sherbert Lake or something? Was that called Sherbert Lake? It could be that too, because that one also took place on icebergs. So yeah, you're right. It could be like the 3DS Rosalina level. That would be actually really cool. That was a pretty fun track. That would look really great in HD. But we do know that Vanilla Lake is confirmed because it was a billboard, and that you can go find that billboard. When the DLC comes out, you can go like drive up to that billboard and take a look at it. But it just straight says Vanilla Lake, which was a Super Nintendo track. But yeah, as for the rest of these, I don't know. Do I have a link to the... I don't think I have a link to the guy. No, I don't have the link handy to the tweet, unfortunately, but it was, I saw it earlier today. He had like a whole list he found, but like honestly, I don't know where he's seeing half of them. I mean, the only real clear ones are these two, which are definitely like tour tracks. It was like, I think Los Angeles or something, and then like Tokyo, the Tokyo track. I think the Tokyo track's already in the game, so I don't know which one this is, but they're like some of the tour exclusive tracks. Whatever they are. Should you get the DLC? I think it'd be worth it regardless. I mean, depends how much you play Mario Kart. If you don't play Mario Kart at all anymore, then maybe it'd just be a waste of money because you're probably not going to play it much. But I mean, it's a good deal. Like, we're talking, what was it, 8 cups? No, 12 cups, because there's 6 packs and 2 each. Yeah, so 12 cups. So that's 48 tracks. You're getting 48 tracks for 30 bucks. Considering that the base game of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, let alone Mario Kart 8 the original on Wii U, came with 40 tracks plus DLC to make up for 48. You're getting as much as the main game. You're getting twice the game for half the price. If that doesn't scream good deal to you, then I don't know what does. And I mean, it's like, so the things that I noticed with them is that they seem to be copy-pasted from Tour. So they're basically Tour versions. That's why the graphics don't look quite the same as Mario Kart 8. Which is fine. I don't really care enough. But there are some like minor track changes that you would find from Tour, like the cars in Coconut Mall, they don't go back and forth anymore. Like, just drive like across the road. They're just parked there, and you have to like swerve around them, so they're just like static obstacles. Kind of... I don't know how I feel about that. Just kind of feels like whatever. 35 bucks, is it?
I think it's 35 in Canada. Well, let me take a look how much it is for me, because I don't actually remember. Mario Kart 8 EX Booster. Let's see, how much does Nintendo say it is for me? Nintendo says it is, if it'll load. Obviously, it's going to give me Canadian prices. $32.99, so I would say I'm guessing it's probably 30 bucks American. Because if it's like 33 Canadian, then that tells me it's probably 30 American. So 30 bucks, that's like basically half the price of the game. And you get the same amount of courses in the base game. But they're all kind of new. I mean, they're mostly retro tracks. But the tour tracks are basically new as far as I'm concerned, because I don't play the mobile game, right? So at least for me, I would call them new for sure. New with like ever so slight minor changes. But they look really good. And I'm looking forward to playing it. That means 48 more tracks instead of a new game. If you're going to do one or the other, if there's already the game on the system, which there is, like, don't put 2 Mario Karts on the same system. That just seems like a terrible idea, because now you're just splitting everything. Why put 2 Mario Karts on the same system when you could just put all the tracks and stuff them into the old game, and then save a new game with new gimmicks and stuff for a different system, when everyone's gonna have to transfer over anyways, right? So I think it's a very good deal. I mean, I'm a little biased though, because I don't have to purchase it because I'm paying for the expansion pass for online, so I get it for free essentially. Me and like all my friends get it for free because we're all on the same pass. So that works out even better. We don't have to pay for anything. And actually, something else to just remember too: don't buy it right away. What you can do is if you go play online and just play like random matches, you'll actually get to play the courses even if you don't own the tracks. You won't get to, the only advantage to actually buying it technically is if you want to host a private room with friends so that you can like make sure the tracks are included, or if you want to play the tracks offline. Playing the tracks offline, you need to purchase it for it. But if you're just playing like random online, like matchmaking, the tracks will just come up anyways, regardless if you own the DLC or not. Or if you find someone who is able to host a room that does own the DLC, then everyone in the room gets to pick the new tracks. Is the way I understood their announcement. They announced it like a month ago, shortly after the presentation. And they're just like, yeah, no, everyone gets to play the tracks in online. And if someone owns them, then everyone gets to play them. You don't have to like purchase it all. We were trying to, but then, you know, someone brings up Mario Kart on this stream, I'm gonna get distracted. Mario Kart's sick. 8 may not be my favorite, but it's still Mario Kart at the end of the day, especially after playing that travesty of a game, Chocobo Racing. But I can go into more detail tomorrow. One last thing I will say, I don't know how long Minecraft is going to be tomorrow. I'm assuming it's going to be short. If it is short, I'll probably stream Mario Kart, the DLC, because I would imagine it's probably out by tomorrow evening. But I was thinking I would, if it ended up being like really short and I speedrun everything tomorrow, then I might play some Mario Kart afterwards and try out the new DLC. So, no guarantees, but that's a possibility. Anyways, back to Fairy and music, and maybe doing something with the Fairy and the music. Someone hear me talking to Forney? What should I make of all this? I wasn't worried at all about being found out. In fact, I even found it somewhat amazing. Someone else was able to hear her sing. What would they think? How would Forney feel? Chris? Yes? You're interested in pairing up, but she isn't. Is that the situation? There's some of that, you might say. The voice tune I prepared for you, she decided to decline too, for similar reasons. I'd have to ask her again, I suppose. Well, this is certainly an interesting development. Suddenly I had the dreamlike, ridiculous thought of performing with Forney at the graduation recital. If Forney's voice could reach someone else in the form of music, that'd be amazing. Even if I left the city, that person would be able to hear her sing and keep her company. Of course, I planned on asking her to come with me. But if Forney wasn't interested, I couldn't force her to leave the city. That's why I had to consider this possibility. Until now, no one else had been able to hear Forney's voice. Her ensembles with me had to be the key. What I was about to say was really stupid, but I just couldn't stop myself. That won't be necessary. Sure? Okay. For third-year students, the final deadline is the 4th day of the new year. Although anyone slightly more interested in school life than you, Chris, would probably know that. For first and second years, or, well, I can't imagine it, but if it's someone not from the school, she can just show up on the day. Only the names of the Foretell players will be included in the program anyway. Okay. Any questions? I have a few, but you don't need to ask. That's fine. By the sound of your Foretell playing lately, you don't have much to worry about. I trust you, was what Miss Cordell was saying. Had my sound really changed that much? To the point where a student like me could be trusted to my teacher? If that were true, it was all thanks to Forney. Just in case, could you let me give you an update on the 4th? The student I have in mind is a 3rd year. Whatever. She won't say no. If it came to that, you'll have to play her song due to time constraints. I'm okay with that. You're a quick learner, so I'm sure it'll all come together in time for the recital. With maximum effort, you might even scrape by and graduate. I wouldn't mind. Your potential partner, who is she? I can't think of anyone that you'd be so obsessed with. Does it look like I'm obsessed? Would you be cutting things this close otherwise? But I know your feeling. It's obvious from the sound of your playing every day. I see. As I expected, that's fine. Make sure you convince her in time for the recital. Ah, what fun. Now then, time for practice. Okay.
God, that was like a weird twist and a half. Someone actually possibly heard Forney. I don't know how that would work. But maybe it's possible? Miss Cordell was in a good mood the whole lesson. I was in two minds about the possibility of someone else hearing Forney's voice, and to add to that, I was confused by Miss Cordell's cheerfulness. But hearing that from someone who rarely gave praise made me think that I was changing for the better at least. 1 second here. Is that going? Oh, okay. Alright, we're good. These weren't the kinds of things you could notice about yourself, so I had nearly zero self-awareness. So I had no choice but to trust her words, and if I trusted them completely, I knew I wasn't doing the wrong thing. Should I tell Forney right away? Or would it be better to wait until Natalie? I knew there'd be a fairly high chance of being scolded. No one else could hear her, and I couldn't graduate, of course. I didn't care at all. That's how enchanted I was by her singing. If I couldn't graduate, I just returned to my hometown. I couldn't make a re-rate anymore, and I no longer had any desire to make it in the world of music. I'd even feel thankful that I could return to the fundamentals of simply enjoying sound. I could see such a future in store for me. That's how much I cared about Forney now. Anyway, it all hinged on how I was going to talk to Forney into doing it. I had until tomorrow to come up with the words. I headed to the cafeteria deep in thought, where Torta was already seated at her usual place. Morning. Morning. So, how was it? What do you mean, how was it? What did Miss Cordell say to you? About a partner? Practice? Convince her, is what she said. Oh gosh. So it's a girl? The same one you mentioned on Tuesday? Yes, that's right. Couldn't say she was a fairy, could I? And besides, Torta would be the first one to explode if the truth came out. Tina would probably say, how poetic, and laugh. One way or another, everyone would make fun of me. Like, you're just assuming that they're going to believe you in the first place. Like, there's going to be like, a fairy? Really? Come on now, Chris. Why would you pair up with a fairy? And not even like question the fact that he just admitted to fairies being real. And no one else has seen this fairy or anything up until now. Like, that's not the problem here. The problem is, like, he's worried about being embarrassed for pairing up with a fairy and not the fact that he thinks he's pairing up with a fairy. I see. Well, keep it up. Sure, I'll try. The time for trying is long gone. Are you going to practice after this? No, my partner isn't here today, so I'm going home. If I tell Forney something similar, she'll indulge me for today at least. I see. I'm leaving too. Oh, just one more thing. Check your mail when you get home. Why? You only bother to check on Sundays, right? That may be so, but what am I looking for? Some kind of notice from the school? You'll see. Well, I'm off to practice. Practice rooms must be packed. Last day of school and all. Without waiting for my reply, Torta stood up and stuffed the last of her sandwich into her mouth. No talking. Orta nodded several times, then walked outside. I watched her go as I prepared a drink in one hand, then went back home. Wait, did she send her letter early this week?
As sort of instructed, I looked into the mailbox and saw a familiar envelope. I knew right away that it was a letter from Marie. I had no clue what it contained. Huh? Aren't you a little early? My partner-to-be couldn't make it today, so there wasn't any practice. I see. Well, welcome home. I dried my hair with a towel and went inside. What's that? A letter from Marie, I think. But today's... That's why I'm a little concerned. I put my stuff down and opened the letter at once. There's just one sheet of paper inside, as usual. So what did Torta write today? In this fake letter? Dear Chris, sorry for being a sudden letter. In my last letter, I said that we'd be meeting on Natalie, but I'm sorry. Oh, I see. Because I'm not paired up with Torta. Torta's like that. I deal with that shit. I'm not going to see him on Natalie. A little shit wants to pair up with a fairy. Can't believe that guy. I just can't take time off work, so I won't be able to go. You must be busy preparing for your graduation recital, Chris. I'm busy too, working at the bakery. And recently, I was asked to oversee the whole process from start to end, as well as train the new guys. I should have been able to get time off before Natalie, but those tasks have made it impossible. I really didn't want to write a letter like this, but you'd get worried if I didn't, so here it is. I knew you'd be busy with the graduation recital, but I never thought I'd be the one saying this. Really sorry. But I'll be working hard here in the city, and you'll work hard for the graduation recital. Our paths may differ, but our heart speed is one. P.S. You'll have a partner by the time this letter gets to you, right? I heard you're not practicing with Torta, so it's someone else. Probably a girl is what Torta said. That worried me a little. Whoever it is, let Torta know, okay? She's always worrying about you, that Torta. This is so weird knowing now that it's like these letters are all from Torta. What did Marie say? She can't come for this year's Natalie. Huh? Why not? She's busy with the bakery. When he looked down deep in thought, didn't say anything for a while. Horny? It's nothing. Responded right away, as if to show that nothing was the matter. Well, it can't be helped. Anyway, I'll be seeing Marie soon after I graduate. That's true. I'm not that bothered by it, so don't worry. Okay, that's good. Now then, after I'm done writing my reply, shall we perform it for a little while? What are you going to say? It's a shame that we can't meet, but our heart speed is one. Ah, what a corny line. I rewrote it first, don't knock it. Sure. If someone said it to me in person, I'd probably blush. You don't blush, Forney. Haha, that's true. Oh, by the way, how's your partner? Right. Can it wait until after Natalie? Why? I might be able to introduce her, and it'll be more interesting this way. The real reason is because I'd get scolded if I told the truth there and then. I'd definitely get scolded if it were after Natalie, but perhaps Forney would change her mind, just a little, if we had the best performance ever on Natalie. What, do you know this person? It's a secret. Yeah. You'll know on the night of Natalie. For real? For real. I guess that's fine. Yet more reasons to get scolded. They were really adding up. But all would become clear the day after tomorrow. That's how it is. Now, shall we? Okay. Hearing the joy in Forney's voice, I felt a little guilty, but the thought of Forney being all alone after I left was much worse. Was I simply running away from having to deal with the graduation recital? Couldn't deny it outright, which was a little hard to swallow. Even if I failed the graduation recital, I'd just go back home and I wouldn't have to endure another year of not seeing Marie. Of course, that would just inconvenience everybody and should be avoided at all costs. Even so, why did that thought lead me to feel that graduation didn't matter at all? What's the matter? Come on, get ready. Right, sorry. Doing as Forney told me, I quickly set up my fortel, and our practice for the day began. Our ensemble, which I thought would end tomorrow, might just go on for a little while longer. I really didn't know if Forney would allow it to. Get up! I woke up with my eyes still closed. She sounded way too excited. Something was definitely going on. Oh, Christmas Eve. Morning. What's the matter? I have a little report for you today. Report? What report? Ta-da! Hovering near my pillow, Forney presented me with a sheet of paper. It was the same paper I'd found last week when I realized that she'd already finished the lyrics to her song. I finished the lyrics. Now we can perform the whole song together. Yeah, I see. What, you're not happy about it? No, of course I am. Then what's with the long face? I just woke up, remember? I'd known about it, so I wasn't surprised. And the just woke up part was somewhat true too. But somehow I was really glad to know that Forney, like me, had wanted to put off the end of our time together. But thank you, really. She'd written the words on it with a large pen, so they looked very messy, but that just showed how much effort she put in. I couldn't help smiling when I read them. What? Are you gonna call my writing messy, aren't you? I know it is. Yeah, it's messy. Does she not have, like, a pen that she could get from wherever it is she disappears to that's her size? I don't know, would Chris need, like, a fucking microscope to read that, though? But it's okay, you did your best. I'll transfer them onto the score. Throw it away when you're done. No way, I'm gonna take good care of it. You'll laugh every time you see it. Just get rid of it. I won't laugh. Makes me happy, truly. Thank you, Forney. I'll store it alongside Arie's letters. For real? For real. I think Forney heard the sincerity of my answer, as she flapped her wings several times. Forney looked very eager to get the ensembles underway, so I got out of bed and changed. I hadn't read the lyrics all the way through when I found them, so I looked forward to that too. What kind of poetry would Forney weave upon my music? At last, our music was complete. Okay, here it goes. Our first complete performance. Yes. What about breakfast? I don't need it. Whenever you're ready. Great, let's get started. Playing? Yeah! Playing the whole song, hopefully. Oh man. Finally! I thought we'd have to do this on... I feel like I should have probably saved it for Christmas, but... this makes more sense, I guess. Watch me fail this. Maybe this is just the easy part. Oops. Oh hell yeah, here we go. Oops, fuck me. There's this fuck up. Oh, it's that slap bass. Oh my god! Oh, it's just home row. Okay, that's actually not that bad. I was like trying to figure out what keys it wanted me to press for that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull that off, to be honest. I knew this was gonna turn to fucking Freedom Time at some point. I don't fucking know how to play this, it's for shit. This is actually Freedom Time. What is this shit? I've pressed too many buttons. I realized I skipped some. Maybe I can like win it back somehow, bullshit my way through. No, it's the end. God damn it. Oh my god, final boss of music. No, it's okay, we could bring this back. We probably got like 10 seconds of song left, but it's okay. God damn it. It's okay. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm not continuing. I'm playing that again. We can't screw this up. No, don't continue. Play it again. Oh wait, no, I pressed the wrong button. Fuck. Oh, I hope that doesn't screw anything up. We got bad end. Shit. I keep forgetting it's backwards. You want to press yes. It's asking if you want to continue playing the song, not continue as in go past the song. It's really misleading. Great job. Except for the part where I just completely flubbed on the middle. You too, Chris. We looked at each other and reflected on that performance. It needs a little more work, huh? I know. Anyway, we're just started. You don't have time for that kind of talk. But I do. Resolve today, and after that, we can perform it anytime we want. This song ends today. You'll show me your partner tomorrow, right? Yes, but it'll be at night, I think. Well, if that's your schedule, so be it. But what will you do until that time? I should have saved beforehand. That's okay, I can just like, I don't know, click through everything fast. If I fast forward, it might work. We won't be here, so what about enjoying Natalie together? And by enjoying, you mean going to Mass? The church in the city is very large and quite well known. Sure. Great, in that case, we'll do ensembles all day today. You know, I feel like we switched places somehow. What's wrong with that? That's true. Here we go. Okay. Damn it. I can't believe I screwed that up. I was expecting like a fucking glissando ray in the middle, and then all those weird chords. That was like way harder than Fowls, for sure. Kept performing until late at night. Symphonic truly believed that tomorrow would be the end. The most amazing performance, distilled into the most amazing memory. That was one of my goals. But I also want to give Forney a future, even if it stopped me from graduating. Such a future didn't seem all that bad to me. It's okay, I'll get better at it. I'm sure we'll get to play it again. This dream again. I had it a lot lately. Or perhaps I'd been having the same dream all along and just never noticed. Like a vision that vanished into the morning light. Ends today. Abandon all hope. All hope will be abandoned. Then the voice repeated the words from before. Remember. Don't remember. Forget. What the fuck is it saying? Don't forget. Tried to answer the voice, but I just couldn't. Although I hadn't decided what to say. Although I didn't have the words. I wanted to give an answer. Suddenly, I felt I had to remember. Something I'd forgotten. Something I shouldn't have forgotten. And then, amid the sensation of floating, I was pulled back to reality. Wakes up in a hospital. Wakes up in a hospital. I kept my eyes closed, listening to the sound of rain. About to open my eyes when I heard, right next to me, the sound of Forney's wings. Oh, okay. Was she looking at my face as I slept again? I'd get it if she did so every day, but when it only happened after those dreams, I started to get suspicious. Words from the dream were still fresh in my mind. Wonder if they were Forney's. Was she speaking them into my ears as I slept, causing me to have those dreams? In order to find out, I slowed my breathing and waited to see if Forney would start saying something. Chris, you're awake, aren't you? What's up? Why are you pretending to be asleep? No, really, what's going on? I can tell you're awake, you know. Really? Is she trying to bait me? Chris, I don't know what you're pretending, but I really can tell. Yeah, she really could. She sounded like she was asking a real question. Morning. How could you tell? If you look at someone sleep for 3 years, you'll know. More importantly, why were you pretending to be asleep? 3 whole years. Someone sure has a lot of spare time. More or less. So? I just thought I'd surprise you. I didn't think you'd notice. I didn't feel like talking about the dream. I had no reason to believe that the voice was Forney's. Somehow, I knew there was some connection. And I knew that if I asked, she would definitely deny everything. Surprise me? No way. I can tell just by the movement of your eyelids. That's so. Okay. So then movements won't work either, or any tricks for that matter. Forney let the matter drop and stuck out her hand as always, indicating that she wanted to go to her favorite spot by the window. Sure. Ready to head out? Yes! Forney sounded very pleased from her usual spot on my shoulder. Thanks to the dream, I'd gotten up early, so we had plenty of time. What happened to the rain? Like, even when the rain was this light, I swear there was like a little bit of noise. Every year at Natalie, the church got really crowded, but every year Ari and I would head out around this time, so we probably wouldn't have to wait in line. But I'd never been there later in the day, so I didn't know how long other people had to wait. Church first? Anything's fine. Forney answered cheerfully as I walked out into the rain with her. Oh, there's the rain. The rain seemed lighter than usual today. Once you got used to the city, this was nothing. Forney stayed dry, so I didn't have to worry about that. Not many people out and about, huh? Not any around here, but once we got to the main street, they'll be there, even at this hour. Oh, I see. He never questioned, like, why other students didn't look wet? Or did everyone just look wet in his eyes except Forney for some reason? Forney's enthusiasm made me remember that she'd never been outside at this time of year. I'd been out with Arietta both years, so it would have been out of the question, but I felt a tiny bit of regret. Let's enjoy ourselves today. Okay. As expected, there were many people on the main street. Almost all the shops are closed, but as I told Forney earlier, most of those people were heading to the church. Today's mass was different from those held on other holidays, as all the church doors were open wide so that as many people as possible could attend. The ceremony itself was quite unceremonious. Priests didn't read from the teachings, and neither bread nor wine was given out. However, the sound of hymns always filled the church. And perhaps this was the most troublesome thing of all. One could line up to receive the priest's blessing. Of course, as the church was wide open, it was possible to go straight in and pray, but it was normal to wait in a line that stretched outside depending on the time of day for a blessing. Of course, I'd waited in line with Arietta in the past 2 years and received the blessings. Priest is going to bless Forney, and it's going to blow Chris's mind. But Forney, like me, wasn't particularly serious about religion. In the first place, I wasn't sure if Forney even had a notion of a religious faith, but this was a yearly event. Well, if there's any analog to Christianity with this church, they would call Forney blasphemous, if anything. It was rare for someone living in this country to not go. It's slowly getting more crowded. Are all these people going to the church? Yes, and we're 2 of them. Forney was having so much fun looking at all the people crossing paths. When we got to the street that led to the new district, the stream of people heading toward the church became even more apparent. Wait, do you hear that? Straining my ears, I could hear the faint sound of voices murmuring. I knew at once that it was a hymn. The hymns were an integral part of the Mass, and hearing them so faintly from so far away was hardly gratifying. Let's hurry! Okay. As Forney pointed ahead, she seemed ready to fly off my shoulder. Bathed in the misty rain, the white stones of the cathedral looked even more distinct, more beautiful. Architecturally, but also a sacred place where one heard the voice of the divine, it was breathtaking. Then we heard the hymns clearly, and Forney had started singing along. Thankfully, no one else could hear her, so I didn't mind one bit. Can you sing it? Nah, I don't know the melody. I guess it's impossible even for you, Forney. What nonsense. A little bit of practice and I'll be leading the choir. That's more like it. Hold on a second. She was trying to learn the hymns from scratch, but as soon as she picked up one melody, a different hymn would come on. But by the end of each song, she was singing along almost perfectly. There were more people in line than I expected. She kept trying for an hour or so. Ugh, it's too fast and they don't repeat. At last we were about to enter the cathedral, whereupon Forney reluctantly stopped singing. Over a longer period, you know, there might be some repeats. Don't give her any ideas, she's gonna want to stay. There's some more waiting. We finally entered the building. There's no real need for Forney to stop singing, but overwhelmed by the cathedral's atmosphere perhaps, she looked around very quietly. It's so beautiful. So it is. I lowered my voice too, appreciating the cathedral's interior. I'd been here a few times before, but I'd still enjoyed its beauty. It wasn't excessive or gaudy, but these buildings tended to have many ornaments and decorations. In fact, one could say that they contributed to the aura and mystery of a place like this. We'll get a blessing, right? Of course. We'll pray for a while after that. Okay. Forney nodded eagerly and returned her attention to the interior's beauty. As I watched her, time passed quickly. Forney was invisible to the father, so there's no way he could have given her a blessing. But she'd keep her eyes closed too. Perhaps God would understand. We went to the side of the line and closed our eyes in prayer. Ah, so much for the priest doing anything. Damn it. I was kind of hoping for that. That would've been cool. I observed Forney for a while before closing my eyes. I was surprised by how serious she was about it. Her lips were moving, and she seemed to be whispering something, and her expression conveyed something close to piety. I closed my eyes as well. First, I thought of Forney. Then I thought of Arietta. I didn't know how much time had passed. I opened my eyes and saw Forney looking at me. There was tenderness in that look. It reminded me of someone. I tried to remember who. At once I realized that it was a look that Arietta often wore. Wait, is he forgetting Arietta? What the fuck? Maybe that's what the dreams are talking about. Oh no. What if this is like Kingdom Hearts, and he's just like slowly forgetting Arietta? Forney's replacing his memories with fake ones. Tender smile that spoke of acceptance. I always thought that Forney resembled Torta, but perhaps she was also like Ari. It was the first time I'd felt that way in 3 years that we lived together. What? Just looking at your face, Chris, did you re-examine yourself in your life? More or less. What about you? I'm a fairy, those things don't really matter to me. Horny feigned nonchalance. I could tell it was a lie from the way she was praying just now. But I pretended to believe her, and we went outside. Outside, I realized that some time had passed. The line had gone even longer. One probably had to wait over an hour to get inside. Everyone has such strong faith. Just for today, probably. Like us. That's true. Anyway, what's next? Well, another famous spot in the city is the concert hall, I guess. Excuse me, we're not here for sightseeing. But you've never been, right? Yeah, but you don't want to go? I do. Okay, then let's go. Unlike the church, the concert hall was not decorated grandly at all. However, it did boast a certain functional beauty. The building, designed with straight lines for practicality, was still beautiful. I wonder if there'd be a concert later. A sizable crowd had gathered. Wow, it's huge! It's one of the bigger halls in the country. I hear the equipment and facilities are also top-notch. Perhaps the best in the country. It's a city of music, that's for sure. It'd be nice to attend a performance, but I'll bet they aren't selling tickets anymore. For smaller concerts, they'd sell tickets near the entrance on the day, but I didn't see any. It was Natalie, and people in line looked very well dressed, so it was probably a fancy concert by some renowned musician. I'm okay. If I wanted music, I'd just go back home. Surely you're not comparing this to my Fortel playing. And the singing? Your voice is far better, clearly. Flatterer. But I don't think that your Fortel playing is up to that level, you know. Thanks. Who's the flatterer now? You just can't take an honest compliment. It's strange, but when I'm performing ensemble with you, Forney, I feel like one of those fancy musicians. Here we go again. I get back. Let's do an ensemble. Only until your new partner shows up. Sure. For a while, we looked at the building and the people going inside. Then we talked about what to do next. Time to go home? I guess. We didn't see much, but it can't be helped. All the shops are closed. We saw plenty, and had a really fun time. Sorry for not taking you out much before this. Don't look so serious when you say things like that, okay? Sorry. Would be the wrong thing to say, I guess? Clever boy. Well then, let's go home. Okay. On the way home, I saw an unfamiliar food stall in the corner of the piazza. Perhaps it was because I hardly ever went to the piazza, but for some reason this stall caught my eye. Come to think of it, I'd skipped breakfast as always, and the thought of food quickly reminded me that I was starving. What are you looking at? Ah, the sign says calzones. Yeah. Oh, right, you must be hungry, huh? I could eat, but I'll just make something at home. Why? You could just eat here. Well, I'd be eating by myself. I'll watch you eat. That's what I do at home anyway. And the time saved by not cooking can be spent on ensembles. That's true. Okay, maybe I'll get something. Go for it. Forty urged me on. She was enjoying this. Given in, I walked over to the stall. As I got nearer, I saw that it was actually quite busy. I guess it had all the customers to it itself, since everything else was closed for Natalie. As long as you were willing to work on Natalie, business was sure to be good. I reached the stall, above which was a sign with Marco's Calzones in big letters. Marco was probably the name of the kind-looking old man who was baking the calzones inside. Hi there, welcome. The old man's voice was friendly as he looked. Hi. As the sign says, we've got nothing but the calzones here. Just the one, or does a young man like you need two? There's no way I can eat two. I'll take one. Haha, they are appealing, so I guess one will do for sim lad like you. He didn't say it in a mean way, nor was there any malice in the hearty laugh that followed. Here, this one just came out of the oven. Thank you. I paid the old man and received one freshly baked calzone. Had some weight to it and looked very filling, like the old man said. What do you mean by slim? Despite how you look, you're still a boy, right? Despite how you look is much more insulting. Forney didn't hear me and continued looking at the old man. Hey, what's with that? Forney was pointing at... It was near the old man's feet. It looked like a musical instrument. That's an accordion, I think. What's it for? Performances, I guess. But here? I doubt it. Well, let's ask him after I eat this. I'm starving. Ah, right. My bad. She sometimes forgets that people have to do this thing called eat food. I know a novel concept. Sat on the edge of the fountain and unwrapped my lunch. Mixed with the smell of baked bread, the aroma of meat and herbs whetted my appetite. Sorry, Forney. This won't take long. Don't worry. Eat more. It's kind of hard to eat with you looking at me like that. What, should I be staring at the sky then? I'm not saying that, just look somewhere else. No. Fine. Without much thought, I took a bite of the calzone. This is delicious. It wasn't something I'd tasted much of before. I'd heard of the name. It was a well-known dish. But This was my first time eating one, and I smacked my lips without realizing. I could have more of this. So I stopped worrying about Forney, and then suddenly, one calzone became none. Was it yummy? Yeah, I don't think I could eat 2 in one go, but I'd like to have another one sometime. Great. Thanks. You look like you really enjoyed it. Somehow I think you're missing the point, but Chris, you never look like that when you're eating food when you... enjoying your food when you eat. Really? I think I eat just like anyone else. It's like you're eating just to get nutrition. You cook by yourself, eat it quietly, that's it. That sounds about right, but I can't get that excited when I'm eating by myself, can I? I'm always around. Well, that's another story. Only enjoy your food all the time. I'll try. Don't be dense. It's not about trying. It's about... It's like a smile that comes without you realizing it. What happened earlier, that happened naturally. Well then, it's impossible, right? I'm saying, it's about your state of mind. Okay. I'll enjoy my food from now on. You silly. That was a joke. Look, we should get going. I'm full and we want to ask about the accordion, right? Yeah. I returned Forney to my shoulder and walked back to the stall to throw away the wrapping paper. Forney and I must have spent some time talking. It wasn't as crowded as before. That was really delicious. You thought so? Great. Come back any time for another. Yeah, if I'm free, I will. I'm graduating soon, so I don't know if I'll be able to come again. Graduating? Don't tell me. You're a student at Piova. Yeah, I am. Why didn't you say so? I would have given you a discount. I see. Well, now the slim figure makes sense. What do you play, the piano? Actually, fortel. Whoa, you play the fortel. Now that's something. That's nothing, really. Humility's a good trait to have, kid. I like you. I think he likes you. How about it? Interested in hearing this old accordion here? It's a store of specialty. No fortel here, sadly. But you can sing, right? Yeah, I can sing. You have some time to spare? Forney? I'll sing too. In that case, just for a bit. Oh no, how's this gonna go? Chris, sing? Yeah, right. Oh, really? People keep saying no, but you, kid, you're a good person. People keep saying no to you? Well, it's still one of our specialties. What about the stall? At this time, I'm always playing the accordion. My customers know it, so they won't come by. They probably wouldn't come by even if they did know. Haha. Great, let's get this show on the road. Okay. The old man picked up the accordion and began playing right away. Specialty or not, he definitely had some skill. The scale on this image is very off. Like, really off. Like, it makes Forney look like she's kid-sized when... if he's standing this close, either he's a giant, or Forney can change her size somehow. Because, like, Forney... or this is, like, extremely close to the camera. This shoulder is not. And then he's, like... it just doesn't make sense. The scale is weird. He may not have been a professional, but sound came from the heart, and filled his listeners with sheer enjoyment. Forney was singing along. She seemed to really enjoy it. And as for me, I'd learned how to sing in class, but it wasn't my specialty, so I couldn't sing all that well. We were in sync somehow, and I was able to simply enjoy the sounds, leaving the technique, etc. behind. People crossing the piazza didn't give us strange looks. In fact, some sang along as they walked by. Others even stopped and joined in. I wonder how long we stayed there that day. Visibly tired, the old man put down the accordion and caught his breath. Phew, that was tiring. Yeah. I can still go on. It's been a while since I really played, and for this long. All the singer passerbys had left, and it was strangely quiet. Normally, I had to stay open for a while longer, but I'm done for today. That's what happens when you get older. I'm pretty tired too. Haha, you sang plenty. You got pretty good in a short time, didn't you? Thank you. But, what's wrong? The girl who sang along right to the end. Such a beautiful voice. I guess she left? A girl? Huh? She sounded like an angel. Had to be a Piova student or pro who happened to walk by. You heard such a voice? Yeah, from the start. That's why I thought she might still be around. I was going to offer her a calzone. Did he really hear her voice? Huh? You didn't hear it? No, I meant it's not that. Hey, is he talking about me? Noted. I nodded, and my earlier thoughts rushed back to me all at once. Well, this was the last person I thought that would, like, reveal this shit. Especially to Forney. Perhaps I've been right all along. Well, too bad if she's not around. Here, take these. Thank you. The old man put the leftover calzones in the bag and gave it to me. It's a token of thanks for spending quality time with me. Come back whenever you want. If I have the chance, definitely. Great, I'll be waiting. I left the piazza with Forney, who'd been very uncomfortable this whole time. She was making that face because it was the first time someone else had heard her voice, probably. Anyway, we talk about it at home. This is probably a good opportunity to bring up my idea. Well, let's go home. Okay. Maybe that's why she doesn't want to leave the house. Maybe she knows this could happen and doesn't like it? I'm home. I'm home, said my green to an empty room and went inside. Forney was always in, so it became a habit. Dried myself with a towel that Forney had laid out before we left. He was definitely talking about you, Forney. Probably. Is this the first time someone else has heard you? Forney? Yeah, probably. Don't you think that's great? Why? Other people can hear you. Then, even after I leave... Nice. Good job using the wrong apostrophe. Or comma. You won't have to be alone. That doesn't really mean anything. Then, will you come with me? That won't be possible. Why not? It just isn't. I haven't asked you for the reason yet, have I? I can't tell you. Is it because you don't want to? Yes. Then we'll just have to find some other way. Making it possible for other people to hear you, for example. Yeah, maybe. Forney, why are you making that face? If so, why won't you come with me? I'm sorry. You really are serious about this, I see. It's better for people to hear me, probably. I think it's best if you came with me, Forney. But if that's impossible, that's the next best option. Sure. Are you convinced? Yeah, I think so. Good, I hope so. So, what now? An ensemble's probably out of the question. You seem tired from singing all those new songs. Yeah, I'm really tired. Your singing got a lot better, by the way. That's because there was a girl who sang with me. It'd be nice to go back there. If you want to, Forney, let's go again. Thanks. Now we just have to wait for your partner. Are you going to practice today? If she feels like it. Did she have something to do today? You could say that, I guess. How vague. You did set a meeting time, right? Actually, no. What? So you don't even know when she's coming? Nope. What the? And that's okay? The truth is, secretly, I put my idea into action. Forney was going to be so mad. But that was the only thing I could do. No other path seemed conceivable to me. Here. I took out a small hand mirror from the desk and held it in front of Forney, so that she could see herself in it. Huh? I said, here. What's with the mirror? My partner. The mirror shows who my partner is. For a while, Forney looked down at in thought and cocked her head to the side several times. Whereupon she looked like she finally knew what to say to me. Hold on a second. What do you mean? Exactly what I said. This is a joke, right? I'm dead serious. Why would you do something so stupid? I know it's stupid, but I thought about it a lot, and this was the only way. What are you saying? You won't be able to graduate, you realize? Heard that what the old man said, right? Other people might be able to hear your voice too, Forney. You think they accept that for your recital? Even if they did hear me, they just think their ears were playing tricks. That's fine. If your voice could be heard by everyone, then... Stop saying stupid things. You have to find a partner fast. Forney, I'm absolutely serious. Are you fine with not graduating? If it's not possible, so be it. What about Ari? Are you going to make her wait another year? I'll quit school and go back home. Then why the heck did you come here in the first place? To figure out my future. Of course, at first I dreamed of becoming a musician. But then I realized that I wasn't really cut out to be one. Even though you're such a great foretell player, it's not enough. To become a professional player, you've got to know how to handle people, and you have to always want to get better. Didn't you come here, Chris, because you wanted to get better? But I just couldn't get used to things at the school. I liked music, that's all. Plain and simple. But that's not the real reason, Forney. First, Forney was shouting angrily, but she lowered her voice bit by bit. Now she was almost silent. But I went on. I want to do this for your sake, Forney. Don't use my name if you're just running away. Running away? From what? From reality, duh. There's a vitriol in Forney's voice. It wasn't like her at all. It felt as if I was speaking to someone else entirely. Just paired up with Torta, Chris. I always thought that. That's for me to decide. No, you can't. Why not? It's impossible. Forney, what's impossible? Chris, listen up. Yes? It's still not too late, so go ask Torta. Until you do, you won't see me. Wait, what? Until you ask her, I absolutely will not show myself. That's a promise. I never made any promise like that. Then I'll forgive you. Bring Torta here. Fast. Forney! Okay, see you later. And Forney was gone, just as she said. The most amazing day ended on the worst possible note. I see what you did there. That's a music joke. How much time had passed since that day, I wondered. Couldn't have been more than a few days, but I felt I'd been waiting here for years. I wanted to hear Forney's voice, her singing. I couldn't use Torta as bait. I didn't like to make use of her in that way. No matter how strongly Forney recommended it, nothing changed the fact that it was disrespectful to Torta. Even if Torta gladly agreed to it. See, now I'm starting to wonder if me fucking up that plane actually screwed with everything. But I don't think that's possible because there's only one ending left. Like, if you go to the album menu, it shows you how many bad and good endings you have. I've got 3 of 3 bads and 5 of 6 good. So, like, what's it not gonna do? Just end without giving me anything? Unless it just ends up going down Torta's route by accident. I hope not. I wonder if I should, like, go back and see if I perform the song different and better, if it would improve things. Forney? How many times had I whispered her name, I wondered. There was no response. I was left all alone in that room. She had not left my side once in 3 years, had grown into such an important part of my life. I doubt that anyone could have filled that huge void in my life, even Arietta. Forney! I tried shouting, but the result was the same. I tried over and over again. I couldn't stop calling out that name. Unable to go outside. I ate whatever was in the kitchen. Last time I brought groceries was before Natalie, and I had no idea how long they'd last. The thought that Forney might suddenly appear when I wasn't at home was enough to keep me indoors. I called her name one last time, then I fell asleep. Wait, so he's just been staying inside the last 4 days, sulking? The last 7 days, sorry? During these days spent entirely in this room, I was forced to consider a distressing possibility. Perhaps Forney had already appeared, but in a different place. In fact, perhaps she had never needed to appear here, and always had the freedom to go wherever she wanted. If that were the case, what was she doing outside? Passing the time? Or was she patiently waiting for me to change my mind? It's hard to think that Forney had been imaginary from the start. Other people had heard her sing too, as I recalled. Some were at school. Someone at school, and the old man at the calzone stall, at the very least. And in the drawer stuffed full of Marie's letters, there were the lyrics in Forney's messy handwriting. I'd look at that piece of paper over and over again, confirming that it existed. So I was absolutely sure that Forney had been there. But where was Forney now? Was she in the same spot where she'd disappeared with her ears wide open? Or had she really gone outside the room? I think I screwed up. I went to the window and looked outside. I didn't believe, not for a second, that Forney would be out there, but I couldn't stop myself. Without knowing why, I shuddered. A ludicrous thought ran through my head. Perhaps Forney had gotten into an accident. She was a fairy. All she had to do was disappear before the impact. In the first place, I had no proof that she'd gone outside. She had to be there. Even with that thought, my body couldn't stop shaking. Forney. I'd even stopped preparing food for myself. Extreme worry, panic, regret, remorse, love and a little bit of guilt. Controlled by all these emotions, I shuddered, alone. I was profoundly, indescribably agitated. Arietta. I called out a different name, but I couldn't be sure whose name that was. Having nothing else to do, nor the energy for it, I lay in bed and closed my eyes. Oh my god, he's actually forgetting. What the fuck? It's weird because the option I got at the start when I could choose if I wanted to do like a normal playthrough or this route, I had to pick the option that said try to remember. So what exactly is Chris remembering and why is he forgetting Arietta then? I thought it was like he had to try and remember what actually happened and that Arietta was like still in a coma or something. I'm starting to think that's not the case. In the darkness, I was still shuddering. I didn't know if I was dreaming, but I curled myself up like a child. Even though the heater was on, I felt cold. Probably caught a cold, it seemed, but I didn't have time to worry about that. Lying in bed, I fervently waited for morning to come, as if I'd convinced myself that everything would be better tomorrow. I was alone, curled up in the darkness. He's just gonna die. Chris is dead. That dream. I was so used to it, it didn't feel strange being there at all. The only words I heard were, "Don't forget," and "remember." That was all. The contradictory voices weren't there. Those urgent, imploring words were all that was still going through me. Who was speaking those words, I wondered, without even letting me know? Would she continue shouting those words? She. Noticed that it was a female voice. There's no reason. Just a certainty. Couldn't have been a blind one. I was confident of that. Chris. A name. That was my name. It was the first time I'd been called by my name in this place. Chris. My name was called once more, and I had no way of responding. You're not waking up. Are you okay? You're burning up. It's all my fault. Aren't you hungry? Wake up, please. How long have you been asleep? Sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen. Yes, Torfeld, we can't do this. Oh, yeah, it's a fucking simulation, isn't this? Remember. What the fuck happened? He's in a coma or something. I'll write a letter every week about what happened, school, stuff like that. And when I have nothing to say, I'll just write about silly little things. But I'll never forget to write. Although, it doesn't look any less than what I started with. The first month, for example. You're right, it's been a year. That's 1/3 of it. Yeah, but if you think about it, you won't lose any. Huh? Because for every envelope I use up, I get one of your letters, Chris. The number goes down and back up again. But in that case, when I think about my desk drawer getting full of your letters, Chris, that makes me happy. I see. Someday, when that drawer is stuffed full of your letters, you'll be back, right? That would be nice. Wouldn't it? Yes, let's think of it that way. Arietta, wait! What makes it worse knowing that that was never Arietta that wrote any of those letters? I embraced her from behind, the smell of a scarf that she made for me, and the fragrance of the soap she used to wash her hair. It swirled around in my head, and I noticed I was crying. The scene shifted once more, with no regard for me, the observer. Guess it's time to head back. Yes, it's gotten quite cold out. You take care, okay? The cars here go really fast sometimes. I'll be fine. I know about that. If you say so. Hug me one more time. Of course. Kiss me too. With pleasure. Then, and then, anything. I'll do anything. Chris. You'll have to wait 3 years for me. But I'll come back to you, promise. Yes, I'll be waiting. Wait for me. It was after that. I didn't want to remember, but I had to remember. It was right after that. Oh, he is remembering the crash after all. Her small body was floating in the air. At first glance, it seemed like a beautiful image, but in a second, it turned into something terrifying. I screamed her name, but there was no answer. I shook her over and over again, calling her name. I heard something like the sound of a distant explosion and covered my ears. Amid what sounded like an endless gust of wind, I desperately tried to wake her up. My ears hurt, but I didn't have time to care about that. Suddenly, the cold rain that fell. Cold as snow, the freezing rain that fell on Arie's body. To protect her from getting wet. To prevent her body from getting cold. I hugged her tight, covering her entire body. I called out her name. Arietta. I heard a song. My body felt hot. My head was cloudy. A song. The poem that accompanied that melody was definitely not related to the dream I just had, but that voice, strangely vivid, had reached my ears along with the words of my dream. Don't forget. Remember. Arietta. Yeah, fucking called that shit, didn't I?
Yes, that was my prediction for this whole thing, is that Fairy was probably Arietta. And I think this is pretty much confirming it. My surroundings gradually came into focus.
Chris.
Morning.
Dummy.
That's a nice greeting.
You've got a cold.
Looks like it. Hey, Forney.
What?
I thought you weren't going to appear anymore.
If that's what you want, I'll do it.
Just kidding. Stay with me.
I know.
Forney sounded very grown up when she answered. Her hand felt cold against my forehead, and rather soothing. Hey, Forney.
What?
About the graduation recital. Will you perform with me?
Sneaky.
You won't?
No. I'll do it.
Okay. Thanks.
There's no one else.
Hmm?
You have no one else, Chris.
Probably not.
Then, I guess I don't have a choice.
No choice?
No, I'll be here for you. Besides, I want to.
Thanks.
You need me, Chris.
Yeah.
And I need you too.
Okay.
We make a good pair, huh?
Indeed we do. We both laughed.
Did you remember?
I did.
Then I guess that's that.
Yep. No other words need to be said between us. Oh, I thought the thing was gonna like end there and that was gonna be the route. That would have been hilarious, but also really suck. A few days passed since then, but I still hadn't fully recovered from the cold. But I was able at least to get out of bed, make my own meals, and do the washing up. Fonny did almost everything else for me, but preparing food seemed impossible for her. Even so, having someone nearby helped calm me, and I felt I'd get better in no time. And right now, Forney was by my pillow, looking worriedly at me. I said I'm fine.
If you say so.
It's thanks to you.
There you go again.
Forney looked away to hide her embarrassment. Then she remembered something and spread her wings in the direction of the kitchen.
Hold on a second.
She didn't have that far to fly from the bed. But then Forney walked to the kitchen, where she put a towel under running water, wrung out the excess, and came back to the bed. She used to place the towel on my forehead without doing that, which I scolded her for countless times. Now, she had learned the refined art of wrapping the towel around the faucet and twisting it with her whole body. It wouldn't have drowned in water like before. Although, the problem was that the whole process took over 10 minutes.
Forney, hold on a second.
She was in the middle of climbing up the kitchen counter with the towel on her back. I tried telling her that I'd do it myself, but Forney opposed vehemently, so I gave up. I was simply happy that Forney was willing to do things for me. Forney was also happy to be able to do something for me. So I watched Forney trying her very best. And I closed my eyes in order to get the excessive sleep that my weakened state demanded. In that state, time passed unexpectedly quickly. I realized a cold towel had been placed on my forehead, and Forney was singing a lullaby to me. That's probably because I'd fallen asleep without realizing it, but when I opened my eyes I felt a little embarrassed. I was way past the age for lullabies, but Forney always sang songs like that.
Huh?
When I opened my eyes, Forney stopped singing. What's up?
I just heard a knock.
Ah, you're right.
What should we do?
I can make my way to the door. I'm still in my sleeper, but it'll be fine. I got up and headed to the front door, somewhat unsteadily.
You sure you're okay?
I said I'm fine. Wasn't exactly that fine, but it wasn't anything for Forney to worry about, even though I was already making her worry beyond what was necessary.
Coming. Who is it?
Standing in front of the door, I called to the person outside. There's no way I could open the door in my sleeper, so I'd have to see who it was first. The answer came right away. Chris, it's me. Zeno. What wind blew him here, I wondered. Zeno came here twice, maybe 3 times a year. And he hadn't entered the room yet, not once. Anyway, Zeno wouldn't care that I was in my sleeper, so I opened the door. Morning. Oh, what's up with the clothes? Obviously, I just woke up. Or not. What else could it be? Anyway, you could have changed at least. Actually, I caught a cold. Can we talk inside? Yeah. Sorry about that. Thanks. Come on in. I'll stay in bed if you don't mind. Of course. You don't have to ask. Thanks. We went inside. Forney had heard us talking, it seemed, and she sounded worried.
Don't talk for too long now, Asino.
Of course, Asino could hear her, but I could cut the conversation short. Unable to hide my joy at hearing her say that, I got into bed quite cheerfully. Somehow, you seem quite chirpy for someone with a cold. Is that so? Well, the worst part of it's over. I just have to get rest now. I see. You really need to take care of yourself now, though. Yeah, I guess. Thanks. Well, what's up? I just wanted to talk to you about something. I can't go out, so we'll have to talk here.
Which means it can't take too long.
Well, I don't plan staying that long. I just wanted to find out who your partner was.
Partner, huh? What about you, Asino?
Me? I don't have one yet. Anyway, I asked first.
That's a tough one, but
I can't say that I've made up my mind.
oh,
Have to guess, huh? Has to be Tortanita.
sadly no.
What, it's not her? It's not a student, so you'll probably never guess. That's rare.
Well, it is kind of unheard of.
That's true, but I meant from the fact that you found such a person.
It was a little complicated.
A girl?
You could say that.
Is she cute?
Very. Chris.
Oh man, we really are gonna fuck the fairy, aren't we?
Looking like it.
Looks like I got worried for nothing. Anyway, hope you two get along.
Yeah, we'll do that.
You've changed a little.
Is that so?
What about Arietta?
It's okay. Don't worry about that.
There's something strange about this new, confident Chris. Can't believe you used to look troubled every time Arietta was mentioned.
Guess you could say that.
That reaction, too. But anyway, your cold doesn't seem that bad either.
Yeah, thanks.
Well then, I'll head home. Don't have anything else to do.
Did you really come here just to ask about that?
I was gonna ask you to come grab a bite, but I thought better of it.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But thanks for the thought.
Wouldn't hurt if you did the asking next time.
Got it. See you later.
Yeah, later.
Had to lock the door, so I got out of bed and saw Asino out.
By the way, does Tortanita know?
No, not yet.
You should let her know soon. She's really worried about you.
I know. I'll talk to her soon.
Well, doesn't matter to me anyway.
Asino left the room. When he said it didn't matter to him, he often meant the opposite. That ambiguity was one of the things I liked about Asino, so I never pressed the issue. It was easy to understand once you got used to it. Well, that was faster than expected. When I returned to the bed, Forney said that quite cheerfully. But yeah, Torta. You have to tell her everything. You have to tell her everything, what you remembered and the letter too. It was such a difficult time, I wasn't able to write or reply. I had left things alone until I remembered everything, and even when I did, the only thing I could do was leave it alone. There couldn't be any more letters from Marie. First, I had my doubts about that letter, but I soon found the answer. The only person who'd do such a thing was Tortanita. I asked Forney, and she said that was probably the case. When I go to school, I'll try talking to her. Look, after you get better. Maybe I should go too. Nah, I'm only going to talk to Torta. I'll come back right away, and then we can have our ensemble. Chris, you say such embarrassing things with a straight face. That's because I like to. To perform ensembles? Maybe. Ugh, you're unbelievable. We both laughed. The fact that I remembered everything meant that our relationship had inevitably changed. I still called her Forney, but we did so with full knowledge of the truth. And while everything looked bright on the surface, the future wasn't quite as rosy. However, all that we could do right now was to give the best performance ever at the graduation recital. My initial goal remained unchanged. We were going to perform at the recital. No longer cared whether others could hear Forney's voice or not. I was going to perform with her from now on. Absolutely. But actually, we both knew our time together was coming to an end, and we're both desperate to have a final memory to share. That's why I was heading toward my goal instead of abandoning it, creating a bright, if imaginary, future. That was our best option right now. We would give the best performance of our lives. That was all. I'll get better by the day after tomorrow. After that, let's start practicing. Yes, yes! Interesting that they didn't just, like, spell it out. I kind of appreciate that. But it still doesn't explain, like, how? And, like, how did it happen? And how is she physically real? But maybe that's still to come? Chris. I'd rested in the morning, and by noon I was finally able to go to school. I almost fully recovered from the cold, but a worried Forney had stopped me. Morning. What happened to you? I really was worried because your letters stopped coming. I've been down with a cold since Natalie. I see. Are you okay? Now that you mention it, you've lost some weight. You don't lose weight that quickly. Besides, I'm fine now. I'm just a little worried. Don't forget to write back to Ari. Speaking of that, how's the cold? If you manage to come to school, I guess you're okay. You could say that. Got too comfortable, I bet. Anyway, I have errands to run, as usual, so I'll be off. It's a little late on the afternoon, apparently. Torta started getting ready to leave. Torta, about the letter. If it's not urgent, can we talk tomorrow? It's urgent. I have something really important to say. Something important? Can we go somewhere else to talk? But I don't have much time to spare. I want to talk about that too, about everything. Alright. Torta nodded, hearing how serious I was. My guess was right. This talk would also make Torta's errands go away. Wait. He knows. He figured it all out. This is the smart Chris timeline. This is where he just becomes a genius all of a sudden. This is the old wing, isn't it? You come here often? No, not at all. But I couldn't think of anywhere else quiet, aside from the practice rooms. I see. Well, what's up? It's about the letter from Marie. Okay. Torta, I'm so sorry. You're the one who's been writing them all along, right? Huh? I remembered where Marie is, what state she's in. Torta seemed to go blank for a while. She didn't say a word. Chris, I'm really sorry for not realizing it. I truly meant it. All this time, for 3 whole years, I'd caused Torta nothing but pain. I knew I couldn't make it up to her with just those words. But saying them was the only thing I could do. I thought Torta might have been crying, but in fact, she was wearing the exact opposite expression. Torta, I'm a little relieved, actually. Perhaps the best description of how she looked would have been serene. That wasn't everything, of course. That was my first impression. The whole time, I kept thinking, maybe I should talk to you about it, but I didn't need to. Yeah, sorry. Why are you apologizing? I'm happy. That Torta really burst into tears. Why am I... Even though I... Sorry, Torta. I embraced her. Not the way lovers do, of course. I was trying to stop her tears. Sorry. I'm not sad at all, but I can't help it. It's okay. I stood that way for a while. Strangely, I didn't feel I was doing anything wrong to Marie or Forney. Thanks. I'm fine now. Torta spoke calmly as she pulled away from me. Sorry I couldn't do more. No, the fact that you remembered Chris. I'm really happy. I knew that wasn't what she truly felt, but all I could do was nod. I kept thinking of her in my heart for what she'd done as we both left the old wing. This is clearly the best timeline so far. What are you going to do now, Torta? Yeah, I don't have to do any more errands, so I guess I'll practice. I see. I'll go home and practice too. Hey, Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. There's something I haven't told you. Haven't told me. It's about Ari. You ought to go back soon. You remember everything, right? Yes. She's been like that for 3 years now. Even the doctor. Torta, I'm not going back. Huh? I know, about everything. Talked to Forney about that. And it was Forney who knew the most about her situation at that time. Then... Tortinita, someday you'll understand too. At the graduation recital, perhaps. What do you mean? You absolutely have to come. Okay. Then maybe you'll understand. The best timeline is your Twitter timeline? God damn it. What could be on there that could be better than Chris actually being smart for once? And learning that he had Arietta with him this entire time. Unless your Twitter timeline has like the answer to why Forney can exist in the first place. True, memes are a good argument. I don't know why that slipped my mind, but yeah, you can't really argue with that one. Alright, I'll give you that one. Memes do kind of like make any argument invalid when you think about it. I mean, memes are the only like half the reason I even look at Twitter, let's be real. The other half is me looking at it to copy paste a stream announcement. That's basically it. Maybe she wouldn't understand a thing. But still, if she heard me play the Fortell, I believe she understands some part of it. Looking a little perplexed, Torta returned to the main building. I watched her go, then went back to my room for my ensemble with Forney. Maybe magic is real, and maybe Chris's Fortell playing actually did, like, conjure up Forney in, like, a physical form. Somehow. Oh, we're just going straight to the recital, eh? It was the day of the recital. I had put on my uniform and I readjusted my Fortell case with renewed purpose. Let's go. Okay. Determination rang clear in our voices. What we were going to do today was not exactly something that the school would appreciate. Fortell student performing alone at his graduation recital. Probably... No. I'm sure that's never happened before. Probably wouldn't be given an evaluation, but I didn't mind. Standing on stage with this musical fairy beside me was meaningful enough. I didn't care whether her voice could be heard. Sharing my last time on stage with her was important in itself. So I guess in some way, Forney's route is like Arietta's route after all. I remember at the start of this wondering how the fuck Arietta was gonna, like, come into this, and how she would end up singing with Chris, because obviously everyone so far sang with Chris. That was clear from the start. And I guess this is how. I spent almost every second since that day practicing, and things went perfectly. I could have performed without the score. That score in my bag was the first thing that Forney and I had created together. It was like a protective charm. Just looking at it calmed me. What time are you performing today? I'm going on first afternoon, so we have about half an hour, I guess. After talking to Torta that day, I checked the bulletin board. All the practice rooms were open, but I practiced at home in the morning. All that was left was to wait for the real thing. I lacked neither skill nor energy. Even with the graduation ceremony, I had no more than a few days left to walk down this familiar avenue. Never did get used to the school, but right then, I felt a surprising sense of nostalgia. There was no doubt I was affected by the overall sense that things were coming to an end. The audience's reaction to my performance would decide. I don't mean that it would decide everything for me. It meant nothing more than a grade, a mere evaluation by the school. In any case, I wasn't about to become a professional musician, which had already been decided. Do we get to play this? If we do, I'll remember to save. Gotta make sure I get it right after all. Even though it was lunchtime, the hall was abuzz with activity. Many guests had come to watch the graduation recitals, and because seats had been reserved for them, there were surprisingly few seats left for students. Those students who were serious about listening to the performances never left their seats, apparently, so that they wouldn't be taken by others. Miss Cordell had shared that information with me when I'd failed to get a seat at last year's recitals. I, like, bumped my desk upwards, and then my hand on the mouse, like, sandwiched it and pressed the button. It was really weird. We reached the side of the stage exactly 15 minutes before my turn to perform. It was exactly as the bulletin board had said. A student worker told me that those going on after break were to prepare their equipment while the curtain was down, so I quickly set my fortel. On the other side of the curtain, the audience was getting noisier by the second, which told me that it was almost time. Forney was seated on my shoulder as always, looking relaxed without a hint of anxiety. Chris. Miss Cordell, good morning. It's past noon. And where's your partner? Hadn't come to school since that day I met Torta here. Hadn't heard any lessons with Miss Cordell since last year. Students decided for themselves whether to practice at school or at home. Since that day, I hadn't seen Asino or Torta either. But that had probably been for the best. I was sure that everyone would have objected. About my partner. I looked down my shoulder and locked eyes with my very important partner. Chris? The buzzer sounded, and I saw through an opening in the curtain that the hall lights had been dimmed. This is bad. Your partner isn't here yet. We could delay your performance if needed. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll perform. Sorry, Miss Cordell. Forney apologized, even though she knew she couldn't be heard. I'm sorry, but I'm going on stage like this. She, responsible for raising the curtain, started reeling in the chains, creaking audibly. Chris. It was a restrained shout, but I could hear the disapproval in Miss Cordell's voice. At the same time, there was an announcement over the speakers, and then my name was called. Let's go. Okay. Facing Miss Cordell, I gave a deep bow, and I then walked on stage. Oh, we don't get to play this one? Or do we? I'll save just in case. So if I feel like we fucked up, I'll go back here, and I can just, like, try the song again. I don't think this route was affected by it. Probably. We're probably fine, because, like, there's only one more ending. If I get the achievement, then I know we're good. That's all that matters. Because the achievement would, like, determine 100%. Standing in the lights, I closed my eyes for just one moment. My eyes adjusted, and I sat down in front of the fortel. Forney got down from my shoulder and hovered just above the fortel. Opened the score and placed it on the stand. With that, my preparations were complete. Well, shall we? Forney sounded very upbeat. I didn't respond, of course, so I nodded. Here and there, I could hear the sections of the audience reacting. It seemed no one had noticed Forney's presence. If they had, the reaction would have been even louder. And then I saw Torta sitting in the first row. For 1 second, our eyes met. Torta seemed shocked. Then she looked around nervously. Other people in the audience were also looking around to see if someone else would come on stage. To demonstrate my intent, I placed my fingers on the foretell keyboard and played the first note. Oh, we do get to play. Fuck! Well, okay, I'll remember to, like, we're gonna retry, so I'm gonna make sure this one goes through properly. It'll happen. Maybe they'll just think he's, like, the most amazing player. Makes it sound like a foretell, sound like a human voice. And he'll become, like, the best musician ever. Now, as long as I don't fuck up those chords, we're fine. Oh, fuck me. I'm not really sure where I went wrong there. Alright, here it comes. Here's the hard part. Yeah, there we go. Oh, forgot to reach over. Fuck it up. No way, I'm not fucking this up. We're gonna play this perfectly. We're gonna get a proper ending to this whole thing. This is the finale after all. This is a true ending. The previous ending may have been the truth, but this is like the intended ending. Beautiful, perfect evaluation. Saved it right at the end. Oh, you meant to say do good. Okay, all right, that's good. No, we fucking aced that shit. Way better than the practice. After it was over, I stood up slowly. I wasn't expecting any applause. I simply felt sorry for each and every member of the audience who had been able to hear Forney's marvelous voice. A second later, we were engulfed in thunderous applause. Huh. What? I realized right away that the applause was for us, but that was followed by extreme vexation. Did they hear you? Looks like it. I remained on stage, forgetting I had to take a bow. But the applause just wouldn't stop. Not knowing what to do, I started to panic, and then I saw Miss Cordell waving to me from off stage. I bowed just barely and walked off stage. Chris, what just happened? Miss Cordell's voice could barely contain her excitement. To be honest, I'd want to ask her the exact same question. I don't really know, actually. Who was singing? My partner. From her seat on her shoulder, Forney waved at Miss Cordell. There was no way she could have seen it, but Miss Cordell smiled as if to convince somehow, and lightly smacked my head. I don't know how you did it, but you did well. That was the best performance I've ever heard. No doubt about it. Okay. It was the first time I'd ever heard such direct praise from her. I should have been overjoyed. I still couldn't quite believe it, so my response was somewhat muted. How amusing. Everyone confused by a voice that shouldn't be heard. Proving that even she herself was confused, Miss Cordell just stood there taking the reactions of the audience, unconcerned that she was in the way of the next student to perform. What should we do? Escape, probably. I think that's a good idea. Well, let's get going. Alright. Hey, Chris? Please excuse me. If I'm allowed to graduate, I'll show up at the ceremony. With those words, I ran outside. We're playing Pokemon Emerald on your Game Boy Advance? Oh, nice. You have a copy that still works? Like, I mean, the battery for, like, the clock and stuff? I would love to get, like, a copy of, GBA Pokemon games. Prefer Leaf Green and Emerald would be the two I'd want the most. Oh, it's not official? I mean, that's fair. Honestly, it's so hard to get, like, a copy of that game. That's totally understandable, especially with, like, the whole battery problem. Because, like, most official copies, the battery would probably be dead. And while you could save, the clock would be all fucked up anyways. Yeah, there's, like, I mean, there's a 50-50 chance if you have, like, official or not. Because it's, like, you could probably Google it. I don't remember offhand, but there's, like, a number of ways you can just tell by the way the back of the cart looks, or the way the label is, or something like that. Or if you, like, look in it at a certain angle, you might see, like, a certain thing that should or shouldn't be there, stuff like that. So, it's not, like, impossible to check yourself, but I don't remember what things you're supposed to be looking for. It's like checking for a counterfeit bill, kind of. What should we do now? It was all over, and whatever the outcome, I felt totally refreshed. Horny floated onto the desk and spread her wings. Well, you have to go back home. Horny spoke gently. At the same time, I got down on my knees. Come with me. Okay. Horny placed her tiny hand on top of mine. That was the very future I pictured once upon a time. Oh, she's coming with them. Wait, actually? No, he's gonna go to the hospital and then she's gonna disappear. That's what's gonna happen. Calling it now. I guess it's time to say goodbye to the city. Yes. Horny looked out the window with longing in her eyes. Rain fell against the window, making it hard to see anything. That didn't seem to bother Horny at all. We just kept staring at the scenery outside. I brought it up because Archie and Maxie are so stupid for bringing the red orb to the blue monster and the blue orb to the red monster. Oh, is that like part of like the Emerald specific story? I'm not super familiar with how they like combine the two plots together with the two teams in Emerald. All I know of the story is like the Ruby story, because all I've really played is Omega Ruby, which definitely did not do the Emerald thing, which is part of the reason that was one of the things I was expecting it to do. It's basic color coordination. Maybe they're colorblind? I mean, that might be a bit far-fetched. Maybe they just learn different words for the same colors. Maybe to one of them red is blue, and maybe to the other blue is red. So they used the wrong word, and now they're all mixed up. That didn't seem to bother Forney at all. He just kept staring out at the scenery outside. In the end, I somehow managed to graduate from Piova Communal School of Music. I had even prepared a withdrawal letter, but Miss Cordell had sent me a short note informing me of the result. Congratulations, you graduated. Come to school at once. She explained everything to me when I met her. My performance didn't fulfill the criteria, of course. When I asked why I was still allowed to graduate, she smiled. We heard the voice of an angel, however ridiculous that seems. Many of the guests who'd been called to judge clearly wrote in their forms I had failed. But some musicians and teachers, including Miss Cordell, had raised objections. Some of the musicians claimed they heard an angel's voice singing, but even if that were true, they insisted the performance itself was excellent and should be evaluated. But, like, okay, if anyone clearly heard it, they're just, like, assuming it was a hallucination? We're not gonna, like, assume that, oh, he somehow played the Fortell so well that he made it sound like it was singing. Like, even that, I feel, would be more believable than saying it was, like, an invisible musical fairy or something like that. I'm surprised they didn't go with that. But they're just like, nah, this guy didn't bring a person to the performance, so fail him. He didn't meet the basic criteria. Doesn't matter how well he played, doesn't matter if we heard singing. He didn't bring a person. And for that, he gets a 0. It's like when you do an assignment, you write everything out perfectly, the perfect essay, and then you forget to put your name on the assignment. Even though the teacher knows you handed it in, because you gave it to her in person, and she knows what your handwriting looks like, she's just like, nah, you didn't put a name on it. 0. Even though everything else is perfect, you get a 0. It happened to me once. It was fucking bullshit. Got it, like, fixed, but
It's still the stupidest thing I've ever heard of, if you ask me. The others had no choice but to accept that, and that was the reason I received not only a graduation certificate, but offers from several orchestras as well. I felt terrible rejecting all of them, but the future was no longer mine alone to decide. Even if she never woke up, I'd stay by her side always. What if her life force is connected to the fairy, and because Forney's coming back, she's not gonna die? Something on your mind? You could say that. Thinking about what's to come? Yes. Gave a brief answer so I'd have more time to think. What are you going to do? For a start, I'll go see her. And then? I'll make a decision about everything. I see. Forney looked out the window once again, her wings fluttering. This is the key to saving Arietta. She's gonna wake up. We're gonna get like the fucking platinum triple S tier ending right here. I should try Nuzlocke on Emerald on stream. Yeah, I don't know if I do Emerald on... I will play Emerald at some point, but I'm thinking I might just do a normal playthrough because, like, at least with Platinum, I know 95% of the game. Or remember some of it. That's why I kind of, like, mixed up with... I ended up doing, like, the whole randomizer thing in the end. But I've never played Emerald. Like, I played Omega Ruby, but that is so different from even GBA Ruby that it's like... I barely consider that I played Ruby at all. Like, I remember parts of the plot. I think I made to, like, the 4th gym. I don't think I completed the 4th gym, and I was just like, you know what? I just want to play Emerald instead. I never got around to it. So I don't know if I would do a Nuzlocke for that. I would definitely play it, though. For sure. I would do, like, a Nuzlocke of Leaf Green, perhaps, or Fire Red, whatever. One of those two games, maybe. Because that's just Gen 1, and I've definitely played Gen 1 a few times. Or Heart Gold. Heart Gold would be the other one I would definitely do a Nuzlocke of. But Emerald, I think I would just do like a normal playthrough. Everything got dark all of a sudden, which surprised Forney and made her fall backward. I kept my eye on Forney, so I was able to support her back with my finger. See, that's dangerous. Okay. Forney grabbed my finger with her tiny hands, almost caressing it. Then she turned around and leaned her back against it. And then with a soft plop, Forney tumbled into the middle of my palm. Hey, I can't move my hand. So what? It feels comfortable. Are you sleepy? Just a little. Do you want to sleep? Yeah, wake me up when we get there. Okay. I think even Forney could get sleepy sometimes. Just like a small bird, Forney folded her wings and slept in the hollow of my palm. The warmth of her body was making me feel sleepy too. Good night. I'll take a nap too. Carefully placed the sleeping Forney on my lap so she wouldn't fall, and then I fell asleep. I planned to sleep until our arrival was announced. My eyes were closed, but I realized that I was still conscious. The inner side of my eyelids was a pale shade of red. Taking heart in the weight I held in my palm, I slowly opened my eyes. Well, the rain's gone. There's only the blue expanse of the sky outside the window. Clear skies. How many years had it been, I wondered? That familiar scene was a powerful image that led my mind directly to Arietta. Arietta's face under this blue, cloudless sky, and her voice. So I guess he didn't realize that the rain was in his head in this timeline, though? Did Torta explain it to him at some point, maybe? Forney? Look, the sun's out. The rain stopped. The rain had stopped, for good. I see. You want to sleep some more? No problem. I was speaking to myself as I looked out the window. Oh no, Forney's gone! No! The sky was a brilliant shade of blue. Maybe he knows what the rain really is. The train reached our hometown in the dead of night. I really didn't feel like going to my home, so I waited there for the morning to come. Forney had remained asleep since that time. I held her with both hands, protecting her body from the cold. Oh, thank goodness she didn't disappear. When the station was finally bathed in the morning light, I stood up and headed for the hospital. Arietta had to be there. I was sure of it. Forney? We'll be there soon. Right now, Forney was probably in a state very much like Arietta's. I couldn't think of any good reason why, or of any absurd ones for that matter. Even so, I believe that was the truth. She's not dead! Holy shit! Fucking did it! And there, I found her in that state. Arietta's eyes were closed, as if in slumber, and she didn't move at all. Hesitantly, I moved closer to her and touched her cheek with my free hand. She felt warm. In that moment, I was so relieved I wanted to cry. And then, even though she wouldn't open her eyes, I spoke to her. Arietta, I'm back.
For 3 years, just like I promised. I lay Forney, my constant companion, down by Ari's pillow. Forney was Ari, and Ari herself was Forney. For 3 long years, she had remained asleep, conscious. The doctor who'd allowed me to visit had told me, very honestly, she never regained consciousness. Only family was allowed to visit, but he had remembered my face from the one time I visited in the past 3 years. He treated me as if I were her family. Even if she never woke up, I didn't mind. I would spend the rest of my life in that tiny room with her. I really didn't mind at all. I never expected any miracles. I'd simply come back to where I should be, the person I should be with. That was all. Or that's what I thought. Oh, now she's gone. Ari? Forney? It all happened in just one instant. Her body didn't glow or anything. There weren't any loud chords played on a pipe organ. Forney's tiny body just got absorbed into Ari's. That was all. And after that, there wasn't a single trace of Forney's existence. And all I could see was Arietta's frail, sleeping body. Arietta? I knew it was pointless, but I called her name once more. And the response was beyond my wildest expectations. Her eyes opened and stopped somewhere in midair. Ari? Chris. In that moment, I almost burst into tears like a child. I couldn't even shout for joy and run to her side. I just silently prayed that I wasn't imagining things and moved closer. I'm sorry, Chris. No, I should be the one to apologize. I'm really sorry, Arietta. But I was always leading you off in different directions. I don't care about all that now. Ree gave me a pained look, then she started coughing. Her body hadn't moved in 3 years. Only natural. Hey, take things easy. When you get better, we'll talk. I'll be by your side, always. Always. I'll never leave you again. Chris. Arietta sobbed quietly. She probably didn't even have the strength to let it all out. I took her hand in mine and kept patting it to calm her, so she wouldn't strain herself. I wanted to prove that I was there. I wanted the warmth of my hand to touch her. At last, Ari seemed to tire of crying and closed her eyes. Then she opened them again after her breathing settled. Chris. What? I always read your letters, you know, as I sat by your side listening to you play the Fortell. Yes. With a knowing smile that softened her pained expression, we added one last thing. Welcome back. Yes, it's good to be home. There's the fucking ending we were looking for. Well, I was right again. Forney was Arietta. How? Who fucking knows? I guess that's just one of the things you accept, and that a musical fairy can exist. I mean, really, I guess there doesn't need to be an explanation, because technically speaking, Chris did give an explanation at the start. Like, it's just the one thing you're supposed to take at face value in this whole game, was that musical fairies can exist, there is magic, and just ends up being that magic means that comatose people can, like, astral project themselves into said musical fairies. Is that just a power that Ari has? Is that something anyone can do in the right condition? Man, I want a sequel now with their, like, secret fairy projection powers. Now what? Well, I mean, there might be an epilogue here. Possibly. I'll let the music play for a couple minutes though, but there's probably going to be an after credit scene. Most of the endings had one. And this is the final ending. Host DDR, or I don't know. Maybe something. It's only 10:15 after all. I'll probably do something. God, this was a good game. I wasn't expecting it to be, like, amazing. But, like, it was mostly just like, oh, hey, it's a visual novel with rhythm game. That gives me an excuse to stream it. But it worked out. It actually ended up being pretty good. I don't think DDR would be a pain in the ass to set up, and it's maybe a little late to start something like that. Probably something like Osu, if anything. I'd probably play. I have some other games I'll queue it up that I'll get ready for next week for sure.
But yeah, I'll probably just do like Osu or something for a little bit tonight, maybe. Now that this is done. God, this was good. It's been a while since I played like an actually decent visual novel that had like a really good plot and like fun twists. And it didn't end in like complete and utter depression. As nice as Zero Escape is, that series is like fucking... There's no happy ending in that series. Absolutely none. And in Danganronpa, it was also pretty, like, downer. I haven't played any of the others yet, but I wouldn't imagine they were any different. Ew, wild Pokemons love the ocean very wildly. Range is like 10 to 30. Wait, in like Emerald? That kind of makes sense, because isn't there like a bunch of crisscrossing water routes in Hoenn? So like, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you're on like a starting route one moment, and then you just like hit a tile that's like of a route that's like 5/10 of the way through the game, or like 7/8 of the way through the game. I mean, wasn't that IGN's complaint? 7 out of 10, too much water. They probably got confused by all the water and kept running into Pokemon that were way too high level for them. They couldn't handle the hardcore nature of Gen 3 Pokemon, clearly. Song's not in the game. This is just like, there's like the songs you play in the game, and then there's like credits music as well. Alright, let's see what happens after the credits. Right, there's an after credit scene. I mean, probably don't need one necessarily, but all the other routes had one. Hey, there's something here. Arietta dies anyways. No, that would suck so much. How many years had it been since that time, I wondered. Took a whole 6 months for her atrophied muscles to regain their strength. But even that time was spent together, and we were truly happy. Chris? After she got better, we worked hard to save enough money for a small house of our own. We renovated it, turned it into a music school, and started taking in students, much like we had been so many years ago. Was that only a year ago? I didn't know if I should be thankful. There was a baseless rumor that I'd performed excellently at the Piova's Communal School of Music, so we had an endless supply of interested students. We took lessons seriously and treated each student with sincerity, which led to our music school becoming well known throughout town. By leading simple, humble lives, the two of us managed to find happiness, and that was enough. Chris, you sneaky. Yeah, I'm sorry. We seem to have picked up a little bit of attitude from her time as Forney. I loved everything about her, of course. Okay, one more time from rehearsal letter A. Oh, okay. I guess she has to learn how to sing. Man, that's gotta suck, eh? You fucking astral project yourself into a fairy that can, like, sing God tier, and you remember all of it, and then you go back to your frail, weak, mortal body, and you can't do shit. And there's our view of a Fortell. That looks really flimsy, all things considered. But we actually got to see what a Fortell looks like. Properly. Finally, all is revealed. I have just one wish, to be your inspiration. Alright, stop right there. The song was written just for you. How could you be so off? Because you're a meanie? Okay, from the top. I mean, I want to sing it well. That's why we're practicing, right? Come on, I'll accompany you. No matter how long it takes you to master it. It'll fucking master your fairy powers instead. Channel your fairy. Or something. Bring out Forney again, get her to sing. I'll be with you, always. Alright, one more time. This music school's first student was none other than the musically challenged love of my life. Grand ending achieved. Not even true ending. Grand ending. Achievement unlocked Symphonic Rain. See what these are all for. I think that's pretty much everything. Or is there one achievement left I haven't gotten? One more achievement. I saw every ending. I saw Ree's ending. What am I missing? Oh, I think I know what this one might be. Is there anything new in here? You can also play all the songs. I think I went here once before. Wait, was there 2 songs for her? The fuck? Wait. Which one? Why does she have 2 songs? I don't remember playing 2 different songs here. Wait, hold on a second. Why does everyone have 2 songs? Oh, the ending theme. Okay, that's a new one. I didn't know that one has a score. Is there actually... Oh, there's songs in here. Oh, there's actually new shit in here. Okay, that's the one we played. This is... I think that's Lisey's song, or is this one it? Okay, everyone's got like 2 songs, and I don't remember half of this shit. Well, I want to try some of these, because clearly there's secret shit in here that we didn't know about. I mean, it's rhythm game night. I'm going to play some rhythm games. I think, is this the one that, I think this is the... Yeah, this is like actually her song. Been a bit since I've had to do this. Is it just me, or is this harder than the one in the game? Maybe not. I mean, this part's at least sing. I mean, to be fair, Jack, like, visual novels are usually this long. It seems as I have about 40 hours in this game. That's pretty average for a visual novel. That's considered short. Or, well, I mean, you can have, like, really, really short, like, one-man, one-off stories. But, like, for a normal visual novel, that's pretty average. Then you can have, like, long 100-hour epics. I don't know how long, how much stuff is in those. Probably like 20 different routes to go through. I definitely remember how to play this song at least a little bit. That was gonna be like a quick, easy game of 4 or 5 routes where you try and romance some random ladies. Oh, you don't, that's only one genre of visual novel. No. The real good ones are like this, where they just seem normal at first, but then they turn into like what this did. Oh my, what? You can only get 4 letters? Fuck that then. No name for you. I don't know how to shorten that name. That's the ending theme. Yeah, it's like, why is this the first song? Oh, that's the theme song of the game too. Oh. Okay, what's this one then? It says this is also the theme song, but this is different. Like, that was clearly Torto's song. So what the hell is this? Is this the actual theme song? Oh my god, this is new. Installed the rain sound effect on his Fortel. At least there's some new stuff in here. What an interesting way to use like a water drop sound effect. I love it. You know, I should set my piano to water droplet sound more often. Would make for good music. Oh, I guess I could just like drop an R, couldn't I? I don't know, that looks weird to me. Apparently people have modded this game to like put in custom music. Which, I mean, personally, I don't have a ton of interest in looking into it, but that's kind of cool. Because like, I mean, I can just play any old VSRG if I want custom songs. Although I don't think I'm gonna find a VSRG that supports 26 keys like this one does anytime soon. Unless I like boot it up, oh, what was it called? Shit. I have a game, well, I call it a game, but it's like Synthesia, that's what it's called. Synthesia, which is like you plug in a MIDI piano and you just literally play MIDI files. Like it takes like the notes, the score from the MIDI file and just turns into like Piano Hero essentially. So the song is like as difficult or as easy as the song in the MIDI is complex. It's fun, but you have to like actually know how to play piano, and I don't really remember how to do that very well, unfortunately. Well, considering how well this went, I would definitely be down to play more visual novels on stream. I'm not sure what. I don't know if I'd want to. I definitely want like something like this still. Something with like some sort of gimmick to it. I do have a Phoenix Wright game sitting around. So maybe I'll try that at some point. I haven't played yet. It's still like completely sealed. I haven't opened it yet. But I do have a Phoenix Wright game. But stuff like that, stuff with some sort of like gameplay gimmick like this, or stuff that doesn't really focus too much on the romance part. All right, fine. You want Corey? We'll do it with 1R. Goddamn Japanese character limits. Wait, it records my score. How do I view my score? Oh, is that the other page? I think I saw a page for that. Okay, so I'm guessing this is Val's actual song. This was like the hard one before we got to whatever the fuck Fornews was. Oh, fuck me. I can't remember how to do that. Not very well, anyways. What? I totally pressed J. I swear I pressed J. Fuck me. I wonder what the limitations of this, like, music engine is. Like, for the custom songs, could people do, like, 5-note chords? Just absolutely fill the staff with music? Turn into, like, a real piano simulator? Ground has a tiny little landmass, while the other hand Kyogre gets the entire basin of water in Pseudopolis City. Damn. Not even balanced. Wait, so where do you normally find those two? Do you, if you know offhand, in like Emerald and, sorry, Ruby and Sapphire? Like, are they still in their same locations where they would be in their respective games? Because I always wondered, like, what exactly was changed between the Emerald and the other two versions. I kind of wouldn't mind playing through all of these just to check them out, especially since there's a bunch of new music in here. Oh no, this looks fast. Fuck. Oh, isn't this her credits team? That makes a lot of sense now. Where's this synth coming from? Oh my god, I can't play this for shit. I can't play that for shit. I don't know why. Could not tell you. This cannot be her credit scene because I don't remember seeing anything like this. All these new sounds too. love that fart synth. I'm not clearing this. If there's even like a sense of clearing anything in this mode. Like 2 notes off from actually technically clearing it. Oh, so they did move Ephemeral then. Weird. I did fail it. No, it's fine. I did technically fail, but that's okay. Holy shit, that one's actually kind of hard. Well, now I need to like just play through all of these if there's going to be actually hard shit in here. So I'm not expecting that. This one's easy. This is like the easiest of the root songs. It's weird that like it's recommended to play this one third or even second. Like it's recommended that you start with Fal's root, and she has like one of the hardest root songs in the game, next to Forney / Arietta. I still don't like those like low pass bass thumps in the background. It sounds like someone's like moving shit upstairs, because it's coming out like behind my right ear and a little above. I'm kind of disappointed about the way the Fortell actually looks. Like, I was expecting a cool thing, like, outfitted with, like, a million buttons. But instead we just got, like, the most basic bitch-looking acoustic piano. And yet somehow can produce all of these sounds. Fuck. It's okay, it doesn't matter anymore. We finished the game. We saved Arietta. Arietta didn't die in this timeline. Like, I don't remember how that worked. Oh yeah, it's just like straight up XCR. Makes a lot of sense actually. Oh, why did it stutter? How does that happen? How do you like just forget to translate like a single character or letter, or even like punctuation mark? Like, so the coup is at the end there, which is what she's clearly singing, but obviously it doesn't belong there in English. And then there was like a couple times in the dialogue as well, like there was that comment I pointed out that was from a Japanese character set. Like, how does that happen? How do you... Are they just like copy pasting the original line into like the thing? And then they're like then they type it out later, but then how do you go around a comma? Like, how does that work? How do you make those kind of typos? Because I feel like the way at least I would translate it, that would never happen. Because you would like look at the Japanese, look at what it's translated to, and then type it out, or you have some proofread it. But like, how do you copy paste and then not erase everything? Or like not erase everything and leave something in the middle untranslated? That's weird. Like, it's not fault against the game, but it's just weird. Okay, let's see if this one's any harder. I've actually been looking to see if anyone like put these songs in any other rhythm game. I have not found anything related to this game yet. In anything. Not even Osu. Kind of unfortunate, really. There's a lot of other visual novels in Osu. Well, who's she harmonizing with? For herself? Does she also have musical projection powers? I like how all these songs are like kind of based on their endings and like what happens afterwards. Although this is kind of a weirdly happy song considering what happens in hers. Yeah, that felt way too happy for her route, not gonna lie. I was expecting something a little more bittersweet than that. Considering that she was practically brain dead by the end. Okay, we just did that one, so I'll skip that one. Here we go, new shit, let's go. See, it's her familiar. She just has this ability to channel fairies. Clearly, it's the real answer here.
This, I did pick the right one, right? I thought the other one was the one that we played in the story. Oh no, you know what this is? This is the one that Chris plays at the very start for Miss Cordell. It's like the tutorial song, but it didn't have singing. Oh, you know they had to draw at least one picture like this of Phony. You knew that they wouldn't be able to get away with not doing that. I guess this technically makes Forney the only one in the game to get 2 songs of theirs to play. Fuck. Yeah, that song sounds way better when it actually has the lyrics, but clearly that would have been spoilers. I understand why there wasn't. Yeah, this is also new, because it's the credits theme. I'm hoping this one's hard as hell. I mean, usually you do a boss song in a rhythm game, and then you unlock like an even harder boss song. But maybe not this time. Maybe Forney was just the boss song. So I think I'm supposed to get the last achievement by playing one of these songs. This song should also have singing at some point. I would love like another game kind of like this. I mean, clearly a sequel is out of the cards considering that this game is 20 years old just about. But damn, I don't know what you'd even do for a sequel. But I like this mix of rhythm game with visual novel. I wonder if anyone else has stolen the idea. I'm trying to think of like other visual novels I've played that had a rhythm game in it. Like I played rhythm games with story and dialogue, but that's not the same thing. I don't think. Like I wouldn't count DDRX is like a rhythm visual novel. I mean like a proper visual novel like this. I kind of wish it leaned a little harder into the whole you gotta play the music well thing, but I think that only like came up once, or at the very most it just affects like the next like 10 seconds of dialogue and nothing else. I think the only time it mattered was at the end of, was it Fal's Route or Lisei's Route? One of those two, I think, was like the only time where it actually mattered. Oh yeah, no, it was Lisei's Route, because I remember that like being a big deal.
Because I remember like going on stream, I was like, oh man, now we gotta fail the song. And then it turned out that the failing it was not really much better than... Oh no, I failed it first, I think. And then I did the good ending. But it turned out that the good ending and the bad ending were kind of similar. And not much changed. To the point where I thought I failed it again somehow. Watch the one song I needed for the achievement be the one that I decided to skip because we just played it. Maybe I will go back and play it. If this was it. That might have been it. I'll go double check. Oh no, there we go. Let us perform the fairy song. We got it. Well, there we go. Oh, there's the scores. There's other difficulties of the songs? Oh, right, there is a difficulty option. I forgot there was a difficulty option. I could have been playing this on easy the whole time and no one would have ever known. Nah. Even hard wasn't like that bad. There was a couple tricky songs. But since it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, I'll take another 26k VSRG, if one exists. That was actually pretty fun. I don't know how much harder you can make it without it being, like, near impossible. Because you have to, like, literally type. But, I mean, some people can type pretty well. You could probably do something. But that was Symphonic Rain. For real. It's over. Actually finished everything. 100%, even got all achievements. That was a really good visual novel, I have to say. Was not expecting it to go the way it did, but it was certainly made it more interesting. Had no idea what I was getting into, but I give that a solid 8 out of 10. Only thing I would change is make the music playing more impactful on what route you took. That would have been kind of cool. It didn't really affect too much, except the one time it did. But otherwise, really good. Good story. I'm glad it ended on a happy note and not like a super sad note. It was a good twist nonetheless, because like up to that point you were pretty much led to believe that like, yeah, Forney's probably not real either. Turns out she is, somehow. And that was kind of like the big twist at the actual end, the secret end, the grand end even, as the game called it. Alright, what time is it? It is... oh, it's only 11 o'clock. Well, I guess we could do something else. You want dubstep added to choose a path? Oh god, no. Unless you're like playing the dubstep on like an actual synth pad or something. Yeah, make me plug in like a real synthesizer and have to use that to play the music. It's like a visual novel that takes place in a club somewhere or something. And you have to play, and you're a DJ, and you have to play music for the club. And your skill at playing determines who fucks you that night. There you go. That's how you turn into a visual novel. Easy.